Hey and hello there everyone, welcome to the Pokemon Scarlet Shiny Hunting stream! Before next week we go back to Pokemon Violet to do the epilogue thing, and then we'll probably just do more shiny streams! But so I suppose this is kind of the precursor to what's probably end up going to be like, I'm going to do shiny hunting every Saturday for a while, aren't I? Hi, hello there! I'm actually going to get straight into the game today, and I'll say hi to people, because the setup for shiny hunting takes a few minutes anyway, booting up the game and everything, but also because today I won't necessarily go as long as we so often do here at Beau Games, because today in Pokemon Go there is a Rowlet Community Day, and I need to catch some shiny Rowlets. I technically could catch shiny Rowlets in this game, but I need to get a bunch of Pokemon Go. So we can go past like 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is when the Pokemon Go event begins. But once we kind of hit 2 o'clock, I don't want to go too much beyond 2 o'clock. And it's 11 o'clock right now, so, let's see if we can get these 3 hours done or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh no, Xander's internet is being funky again. No, I thought, I just played Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on Switch, and the funky mode is really, really good. How could funky mode be bad for the internet? Okay, so, but before I do get into everything, not dog hunting, owl hunting. Oh yeah, Duraludon. Oh, I need to do the Duraludon thing. I need to hunt for some Duraludons before the next time I need to connect to the internet on this game. Okay, so what's the plan for today? Well, the plan for today, so first up, I am going to shiny hunt for Tyrogue, because that is a nice and easy shiny hunt. I've actually got one already, but I need 2 more, because I need one for Hitmonchan, one for Hitmonlee, and one for Hitmontop. Hitmontop, the Beyblade Pokemon, so we got to do that for Lexi. We got to get a shiny Hitmontop for the Beyblade, although I may not actually be able to evolve them all today or whatever. But anyway, Bark. So I will say hi to people in a minute, but we'll just try and get a picnic set up and all that stuff first. Plus, I have to find the space. Where am I going to do my picnic and my hunting? I think I do it, because I just need to remember where the Tyrogue location was. But I think it was sort of like near the border. Down Mexico way. No, but I think it was kind of like over here kind of thing, and then we do like a fighting type sandwich, and then we sort of run around in like this here area. So, oh look, a Tepig! Hey, cute Tepig! Oh, hang on, wait, how many Tepigs do I have? Did I catch 3 Tepigs? Or I need to count how many... I never went back and got all the shinies, not shinies, but the starters, did I? So how many of each... oh, hang on, wait, where did all my Pokemon go? I thought I caught Tepigs. Where did my Tepigs go? Where did Tepig go? Here's me being like, I'm going to set up my shiny sandwich, and then I'm like not doing that at all. A box 27, hang on. Oh, okay, we've got loads of starters here. Hang on then. Hang on, I am just going to sort out my boxes. Hang on. I am just going to sort out my boxes if that's okay. Because I was supposed to do... Well, I should have done this after the last stream, but I didn't. Oh, yeah. Being organized for the win. Okay, right, so we're going to get... Oh, hang on. Hang on, so we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3. And then we've got Turtwig 1 and 2... And where was the other Turtwig? I saw the other Turtwig. Where was... Oh, look, there's a bunch of Rowlets. See, I could shiny hunt for Rowlet in this game, but who wants to do that? And then we've got Chespins. Hold on. Oh, and here's our Tepigs. Tepig! Right, there's some Tepigs. Tepig! And then... Hold on. I just need to... sort all this nonsense out. Oh, these are probably all Pokemon I caught because of the BP quest thing, right? Where it was like, oh, catch a Pokemon, and it was like, okay, I'm catching something. Like, I need to catch a poison type. Like, here's a poison type. Like, all that kind of stuff. So there we go. Yeah, I really need to sort out these boxes, don't I? Oh, dear. Where did the Chespin... Chespin needs to go here. Hang on. And then... Is this a shiny Grookey? No, it's just a Grookey. I think these are all Pokemon I just caught last time because of, yeah, I really need to like go through these boxes, don't I? Oh dear. But I think these are all ones I just caught for the Blueberry quest, and I should have tidied all these up last time, shouldn't I? I forgot about this. I forgot I'd caught a load of Pokemon that I needed to release. Oh well. But like, yeah, I know, it's annoying when it's like catch a certain type of Pokemon and it's like, my dude, my bro, my guy, there's only like a couple of those in this whole DLC. So yes, I wanted to organize the starters just so I could kind of keep track of which ones I've got and which ones I haven't. So like, oh hang on, no, I got Trico. Where did Trico go? I caught a Trico. I caught some Tricos. I know I got Trico. So that's the thing, actually no, maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't get Trico. And maybe I only did get 2 Tepics. I now need to look up Tepic. I'm sorry, chat. I now need to look this up. I know I'm not shiny hunting. I promised you shinies, and we're not doing shinies. Shiny starter hunting would be a fun and cool thing, but because of Pokemon Go, I have loads of like shiny starters. So the only starters I might shiny hunt for, I did put in the thumbnail, which was the Galarian starters, just because they're not even in Pokemon Go yet. And they probably aren't going to be made available shiny in Pokemon Go for like another year or two. So I may just end up getting those in this game, but we'll see how that goes. And of course, for the love of Nelly, it breaks out first ball. Let's throw a repeat ball. But anyway, let's say hi to people whilst this Tepig refuses to be caught. So hi Kevin and Tenchi and T and Wasabi and Neo. And did I say hi? I think I said hi to Lexi, and then, but if I didn't, I'm sorry. And then Zach as well, and then I think that's everyone, but forgive me if I missed anyone. Feel free to say hi again if I did not say hi to you just there. Oh, hey, we got the Tepic. Nice. Tepic. Don't worry about getting my name wrong, Lexi. You said English is not your forte, but Beau is a French name, so it's really not a problem. Okay, right, hang on. So where did the Tepic go? Okay, Tepic's here. Oh, Tepic. Okay, 66. En route 66. Have I not got Litten? Litten the kitten? The little kitten? Okay, I'll get Litten another time. So I need Litten, I need Trico. I guess I got all the others though, like I got Squirtle. Oh no, I need to get another Turtwig as well. So I need a Turtwig. If I see... Okay, well we're not going to worry about the other starters, but just, you know, hey, I'm ticking off loads of boxes here all at once. So, anyway, Bark. Let's do this thing, shall we? Okay, so here we are. We are here. And what we're going to do, we're here, we're near the border, south of the border. There's Scraggy. Oh, okay. Actually, we don't want Scraggy, do we? We want Tyrogue. Tyrogue is what we want. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to save our game. We're going to set up our picnic. And hopefully I've remembered my sandwich ingredients properly. I really should have... I should have brought up my shiny sandwich ingredient list on my phone, but this one I do know. So I'm going to bring up the list, but then I'm not actually going to look at it. No, I'm not, because I typed in a thing wrong on my phone. There we go, shiny sandwich. There are my recipes. Okay, so we're going to do a fighting type sandwich, because Tyrogue is a fighting type Pokemon. So we're going to go creative mode with the X button. We need tomato, we need onion, we need green pepper, and then our special ingredient are 2 pickles. I always remember Jenny's cat, because I'm sure, because like Jenny's a fighter, and Jenny's cat is called Pickles. That's how you remember that one. And then we could go for sour, but I'm going to go for spicy. Spicy pickles, because it's like fighting. Spicy. Okay, so... Beau's not disorganized, he's multitasking. Exactly, no. That's the thing. Basically, I'm not disorganized, I just didn't get around to organizing, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of forgot that, like, because again, I wanted to go play Xenoblade and stuff after the stream last week, so... Can't believe that was only a week ago. Yeah, I wanted to do that, and then it was like, oh yeah, I forgot I actually... Basically, I forgot I actually did stuff. Although I gotta make sure I don't run out of room today, actually, in my boxes. So maybe I will just, like, mass release those Pokemon in a second. We'll get to it, Oh, I hope I saved my game before I made this sandwich. because I did all that box organizing, and if I didn't save my game, it's fine because I'll just go back to, you know, like the outside of the Blueberry Academy in front of Snacksworth. But it means that all that organizing I just did was for nothing. But hey, that just means we gotta, the pressure's on now. We got to what the hell? Oh, I missed a call on Messenger. I think maybe that was accidental. If my brother's trying to call me, if my brother actually was genuinely trying to call me on messages, though, then he's an idiot because he knows I stream on Saturdays. But I'm pretty sure that was an accident and that he's not an idiot. So, okay. So, okay, fighting. Excellent. And to quote Super Mario, who we played as the other day, let's go. So, there's a Tyrogue, and there's a Scraggy, and there's a Tyrogue. Oh, we're going to accidentally end up with a flippin' shiny Scraggy, aren't we? Hang on, right, I need to find where did I make Tyrogues appear before? Come on, let's go down. Let's go down here. Oh, there's a Scrafty. Okay, here we go. Maybe this was it? There's Tyrogue. So basically, shiny Tyrogue is blue, okay? So instead of like a little pink fella, we're looking for a blue fella. It should be fairly easy to spot. It was when I shiny hunted for it before. The only thing it will distract you is if an orange-colored Scraggy starts appearing. Oh boy. Right, let's find out. Where did I hunt for Tyrogue before? I thought it was like around here, but I could be wrong. Let's see. I really don't want Scraggy and Scrafty to start appearing. Sawsbuck, you're not a little fighty dude, man person. Right, for some reason the lighting seems weird. Like, I'm worried that I'm genuinely not going to be able to spot, like, a blue Pokemon instead of a pink one. Let me just bring up Tyrogue. So, yeah, instead of being, like, pink with, like, brown trousers, he's going to be, like, grey with, like, blue trousers. So, basically, in the areas where there's pink, we should see blue instead. So, basically, if we can't see any pink, then we know we have a shiny, okay? Okay, so, with all that said, hang on, Kevin, you found a random shiny Scraggy without trying. That's also impressive as well, just because, shiny Scraggy isn't that different from regular Scraggy. You can, like, tell when, you can tell when there's, like, a bunch of them all next to one another kind of thing. But, like, still, if you just saw, like, an isolated shiny Scraggy on its own, I wouldn't blame someone for not necessarily noticing that, you know? Okay. Here we go. I think this was, like, the area where I did my shiny hunting before. It was, like, this cave. Yeah. Okay, this was it. This is where I did my hunt. So I kind of ran around here. So we're hoping to get at least one. It'd be nice if we could get two. Better. It'd be kind of cool if we could get three, but I won't push it. I won't get too greedy. Okay. Hang on. How zoomed out or not are we? I think maybe just because I'm on the television and my eyesight's not good and all that, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the story by now. Because of all that, I actually might not go on Koraidon. I may actually just stick to running around just so I'm that little bit more zoomed in, because I normally play in handheld and I can see everything a bit better and more close up and everything in handheld. But then again, this is a bit slow, so actually maybe I'll just completely undo exactly everything I just said and then just end up riding on Koraidon anyway. Right, let's fly. Oh, no. Okay, apparently not. We'll just glide into a rock. That's no problem. But anyway, how are we all doing out there? How is the new year going? It's only a few days in, so I kind of expect the answer to be not a whole lot. But yeah. I mean, mine's okay. I mean, again, it's sort of been quiet because it's like beginning of the year and stuff like that. But obviously, I had a very nice birthday, and I'm very grateful to you guys who tuned into my birthday stream that I did. And if you're listening to this and you're like, Beau, it was your birthday? You had a birthday stream? Yes, I did. And it was really lovely and it was really wonderful. And I highly, highly implore you guys to go and watch it if you didn't, because it was really fun. I played through Super Mario Odyssey from the opening cutscene to end credits in one sitting. We did it in about like 3.5 hours, right? Like, that was awesome. And it was so much fun, and so many people came by to say hi, and there were like loads of super chats and Wonga tips, and I still need to... It's Wonga something, but we need to figure out what to call them. But it was just, but it was absolutely wonderful. It was wonderful and wonderful. And I'm so grateful to you guys for turning out, because again, as I've sort of said, January the 2nd, it's a bit of a weird and awkward day. It's a day where people are busy, or they forget stuff, or they're still a bit hungover from the new year or whatever. So it really meant a lot to me that so many of you guys turned out to see that and watch the stream. If you didn't, it's on the replay. That's why I stream on YouTube, because the replays are still there, and they aren't going anywhere. So there we go. Okay, right, Tyrogue, come on, let's get lots of shinies, because this is the shiny hunting stream. Doopa-doopa-doo. Tyroga-roga-poo. There is one important thing that I would maybe kind of like to talk about today. I mean, there are several things we could talk about today. Like, one thing, speaking of birthdays, and I think I am going to do about a tweet about this in the next week or so, but it's why I think I am probably going to do a tweet about like why you shouldn't ask a voice actor or any actor their age. If any of you have ever asked me my age, that's no problem, don't worry. I mean, it does sort of violate the stream rules of don't ask personal questions, but it's okay. Like, I understand why people ask it. It's a thing that we just kind of all ask each other. But the reason why you shouldn't do it for like voice actors and actors is just TLDR, is because like some voice actors seem younger than they are and some seem older than they are, and with like casting and stuff like that, that can be very problematic. If like your age gets out and someone sort of finds out your age, they can start thinking, oh well, I'll start trying to cast them for like the age that they are, even though they don't fit that age. You can get someone and you're like, oh, if someone's like 40 but they still can kind of pass vocally for like their 20s and stuff like that, say if they like just don't really have the vibe of like a parent. If you're trying to actually cast them as like 40-year-olds, you're going to try casting them as like a load of like parent characters. But if the person doesn't really have like a voice that matches our idea of what a parent is, then, like that's not good, and it's sort of like, and similarly, there are some people who are really good at like playing like older characters and mentor type figures, but they're like really young. Like these big bulky like older characters, but they're actually quite young. But if you found out they were young, they'd be like, oh well, I'll try and cast them for like high school roles instead of these like big burly adult characters and stuff. So hey, I just knocked out that topic very quickly. But let's see. Your friend's birthday was before yours, so that's quite a start to the year. Oh, thank you, T. Well, happy birthday to your friend. I hope they had an amazing day. If they were January 1st, like, I hope their birthday doesn't get forgotten about too much or anything. Like, because sometimes if your birthday's on the same day as another birthday, it's either one of those things where people will remember it because it's on another celebrated day, or they'll forget it because it's already that other more important day. So I hope they had a good day. Let's see, Tyrogues. I am going to just pause to catch up on chat for a sec, because we've actually had a lot of chat. First snowfall of the year, Kitakami epilogue. Yeah, so that's going to be like this week, isn't it? The Mario Odyssey playthrough, very interesting, because Mario Odyssey is such a huge game. And it's just really interesting that you can do it in like a 3.5 hour sitting. And this isn't with like cheats or anything. I'm not like some like god tier player who like can like fall through the floors and then end up in like Bowser's castle, or like, it's not anything like that where it's like, okay, I'm in the first level and now I'm in Bowser's kingdom. It's like, no, it's like a regular playthrough. Anyone could do it. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah. Cats are fancy. Talking about age in chats is a bit of a faux pas anyway. Exactly, but so I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, like you guys know this, but just if like anyone else ever talks about it or whatever. So yeah. For the most part, you'll probably know if a VA is underage. Well, that's the thing, but that's the thing. Like, it's like either you're a kid or you're an adult, and that's all that kind of matters. Like for like sort of casting and stuff like that. So, and that's the thing. Zach's like a young dude, but he can make his voice like really deep and stuff like that. Exactly. So, right. Okay, I'm gonna get back to the shiny hunt. But yes, and cats are fancy. I liked your comment on, I think you commented on like Instagram or something like right before this stream, and I liked it. I can't remember what the comment was. Oh, it's the leaf blower thing. Yeah, you commented on my leaf blower post. That was it. I was like, I know I saw your name like, I don't know, in the last hour, and it was like, oh yeah, the leaf blower. Because sorry, I've done a lot of posts in the last couple of days, and so, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Get out of here, Tyrogue. Yeah, I don't know why. I get why there are leaf blowers, right, in LA. Like, I get that. I'm not against, like, I mean, I wish that there was a better way to deal with it. But like, I get why there are leaf blowers. But I don't get why our building has leaf blowers, because our building doesn't have any trees on the premises. It just seems pointless, but... Oh well, I guess maybe people. If I had to guess, I would guess that maybe a bunch of these buildings are like all owned by like one entity or person. Why any one person or company needs to own more than one like set of buildings or houses or whatever? I don't know. I don't know why. I like just regular people can't own these houses. But anyway. But yeah, so I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd guess that maybe like, you know, a lot of these houses are all owned by like the same people or entities, and then what happens is they sort of hire like a company, and they'll be like, okay, like on this day you're gonna do like these houses, and then on this other day you're gonna do all these other houses. So I assume that they just do like a bunch of houses, and they just kind of do all the houses that are like under the ownership of this person or whatever kind of thing, if that makes sense. You know, it's like, oh, okay, well, they own like houses 1, 2, 3, and 4. So go do houses 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then that's kind of it. Okay, there are also more Tyrogues this way. Okay, we're running into Scraggies now. We don't want the Scraggies. Sorry, Scraggy. I've already got shiny Scraggy as well. I did a shiny Scraggy hunt. I think it's like you do a dark type. Basically, whenever I hunt for Drillbur, I'm going to try hunting for Drillbur in a particular place where I think it might be a good sandwich spot. And the place where I hunt for Drillbur is the place where I hunted for Scraggy. Because you can basically just make like Scraggies and Scrafties appear. There's like this one particular cliff where you can make Scraggies and Scrafties appear like crazy. Oh, there we go! Shiny! Hey, there we go. Look at that. We're like, what? How many minutes into this are we? Like 10 minutes. 10 minutes, baby. Okay, hang on. We saved the game. Okay, well, there you go. See, we didn't waste our sandwich ingredients, and I can tidy up my boxes after this. Right. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's one. Right. Quick ball, go. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so that's one. So we need at least 2, but hey, we're hoping for 3. If we got 1 in 10 minutes, that means we could get 3 in 30. I'm just saying. That's why it's not crazy. And that's why this method is so good. And like I said, you know, the same place where I got got like 2 Scraggies was, and in fact, I actually got the Scraggies like 30 seconds apart. Like, I got one Scraggy, save the game, catch it, and then I sort of wandered around for like 10 seconds. And then after I caught it, I wandered around for like 10 seconds and spotted another one, and I was like, okay, we're done with Scraggy. I think I like basically used like a dark type sandwich. So I think I then went and tried to like get a lullaby or something, which I think I maybe did then get. I can't remember. But I remember I got the 2 Scraggies like insanely quickly. It was pretty fast. Um, yeah. So that was very cool. And then okay, there's a horsey. Yeah, I shouldn't really go too far this way because otherwise the horsies are gonna just throw me off, aren't they? Right, okay. Those Tyro... Hang on, there's one that... Oh, there's a Scraggy. I'm probably going to end up getting a Scraggy, aren't I? Okay. But that's why this method's so good, because you can see how many Tyrogues we're seeing. And it's just, yeah, you know, we're getting like a Tyrogue every second or two or whatever. I mean, unfortunately, we're not getting as many as I would like. Come on, spawn in, spawn in. But still, it's good. It's an effective method. But yeah, but the place I got Scraggy, I actually suspect that might be a good place to get drill bars as well. I know drill bars do appear in that cave we just went in, but I think that they might appear in that on top of that cliff, the Scraggy cliff, even more so. So that's my plan for drill bar, and then if that doesn't work, we'll just go in the cave, and I think it should be fine. Because I think it's like the only ground type that spawns in the cave. I could be wrong. But it just the cliffside thing is a little bit better, I think. Just for like visibility and moving around. And again, it was really good for Scraggy. It was really good for Scraggy. So I think it will be good for... Oh, hang on. This is a big open plain here, isn't it? This is really good for spawning in Tyrogues, isn't it? Okay, well, I wish I'd been going here beforehand, but oh well. Right, and then we'll go down here. We'll do this, and then we'll see if there are any more. Okay, and then we'll go down, and we'll be like, hello, you're not shiny, and then we'll keep going. So there we go. Hang on, I'm just gonna... His shorts are so blue! I know, right? Miss Warnikins, you did some shiny hunting a couple of days ago. You got Electrode, Reuniclus, Indeedee, female, and Hatterene. That's awesome. That's very cool. Very, very awesome. And yeah, the Hatterene one is really good. It's like a simple, subtle... It's kind of like a simple, subtle thing in a way, because it's just kind of swapping out the blue for white, but somehow it sort of makes it look more pink. By having like pink and white instead of pink and blue, it just looks more pink. I don't think they actually changed the pink at all. I don't think they make the pink more pink or anything. I think just having white with pink looks more pink, which is great. So, right, I'll go this way. No, I won't, because the gravelers are ruining everything. So, yeah. Let's see. Tyrogue. More Tyrogues. But yeah, if we were trying to do this like on multiplayer, you saw sort of how pitiful the spawning could be at times. Like, you only get about 5 Pokemon on screen instead of like 15. Because I think when this game came out, like 20 Pokemon could spawn at one time. Could be on screen at one time, and then I think they reduced it to 15. I'm pretty sure 15 is the magic number. Whether it's always been the magic number or not, I can't quite remember, but I think 15 is like the magic number. But I think when you're playing a multiplayer with friends, like, it's only like 5. I think they should personally just compromise and just say 10. I don't think you really need any more than 15 Pokemon on screen at any one time. And if you're playing multiplayer, I think 10 would be good. Even if there are 4 people, I think 10 Pokemon would be fine. But yeah, we'll see how the future of Pokemon goes, thanks to science. Okay, so whoop, right, Tyrogues and Gravelers. These Gravelers are really bothering me. Although I shouldn't really use Armor Rouge against them, but oh well. But hey, because we've now saved the game, it means anything I do now will be kept. So it does mean I could perhaps tick off some blueberry quests. But then again, I don't need to tick off blueberry quests because I like did all those ones last week, didn't I? So right, let's go this way. I know I said I wouldn't go this way because of the horsies and the Scraggies, but hey, let's do it. Let's break our own rule like 2 minutes later. Well, that Was that there always, or did that just kind of spawn? Um, You accidentally caught a shiny Charcadet the other day and evolved it. For the life of me, you cannot tell why they made such an unspectacular shiny. I know. It's a funny one, and I said this a while ago, I think, on a stream, but they made a bunch of like special like Paldea shiny. They had like a special like Paldea shiny Pokemon like card edition kind of thing. Like they had like these like packs where it was like celebrating the shiny Pokemon of Paldea, but then they put a load of Pokemon on the like packaging. And this must have been a deliberate thing where like, so they had like Charcadet and Tandem Mouse, and it was just like, okay, are you pulling my leg? Are you pulling my leg? Because like, what? You can't do that, you know? So it was really funny. They had like Armor Rouge and why can't I remember the name of the other one? But they had all those, and it was just, I think they had like those three. So the Cerulege. But yeah, so I think they had like Armor Rouge, Cerulege, Tandem Mouse. It was just really funny, and it was just like, why are you doing this to people? But yeah, it would. Here's the thing. It wouldn't be as bad if it was like in Sword and Shield, because you can actually see the models in Sword and Shield when you're like in battle against things, and so you can appreciate the differences in the Pokemon a bit more. But when you've got these tiny Pokemon that's like a polygonal, just like that are just like composed of like 5 polygons anyway. In this game, you know, it's just kind of like, ugh. So, again, I'm sorry to kind of like poop on the graphics a bit on this game, because I am not like a graphics snob, but the polygon thing does, it does just weird me out how somehow we've like regressed to like N64 Pokemon Stadium like levels of detail in some instances. And that And yeah, it was weird. And don't get me wrong, this game didn't start it. Like Arceus was horrendous for it. Arceus was the one that kicked it off. The best example I remember was like Tangela. You could, with a Tangela, it was really funny if you sort of walked up close to it. Like you could walk up this close to a Tangela and it would like look all smooth, and you walk this far away, it's like polygons, smooth, polygons, smooth, and it would just be like, it was great. And Magnemites as well was another one where it was weird. Any Pokemon where it was kind of round or it had a big eye or something, it'd be like circle, hexagon, circle, hexagon, circle, hexagon. Like it just, you know, oh, I don't get it. I mean, in fairness, I think Sword and Shield may have perhaps done it a bit with like Overworld Pokemon, but you kind of couldn't tell as much, or they just kind of like made the Pokemon blurrier or something, which is that. Oh, hang on, you're not shiny. No, that's just weird lighting. It'd be nice if instead of pink they were blue. If it wasn't like the shorts, because we have to keep an eye out on the shorts rather than the skin color, don't we? But hey ho, Ben's not here. Okay, so I'm just gonna check chat for a sec. Wouldn't be the first time they've reused assets from Stadium. Yeah, all the Colosseum Pokemon are just Stadium ones. I think all the Battle Revolution ones are as well. I don't think they updated the 3D models until X and Y. So like all the 3D models that existed until X and Y were like the same 3D models. Like I think if you look at an Eevee in Battle Revolution, I think it might be the same weird kind of Pokemon Stadium-esque Eevee. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, the GameCube definitely reused like the Stadium models, and then for like the old Pokemon, you can definitely tell that in like Colosseum and XD and stuff like that because of like the evolutions like Jolteon and stuff like that. But yeah, so just a bit of a. But I think even in Battle Revolution, they like still used like the same. They may have changed like a couple. Like maybe Pikachu might have gone from being less chunky to the more sort of skinnier Pikachu that came about by like Generation 4, but yeah, I don't know. I think someday they'll bring back that original model Eevee, not to be like the default Eevee, but they'll be like, hey, it's the special event Bangs Fringe Eevee or something. You know, I would joke that they'd call it Fringe, but that was the name of like the like Hatena or whatever from Sword and Shield, wasn't it? The one you get in a trade, the Hatena or Hatchram or whatever. The Hatchram, I think it was a Hatchram, right? Um, and it was called Fringe, I believe. So they'll have to be like the Bangs Eevee, but then that also sounds a bit weird as well. I prefer the sort of singular calling the bit of your hair that covers your forehead a fringe rather than the sort of more like multiplistic term of bangs. But forgive me for being an Englishman. Okay, so it's a bit of a weird thing. Like normally, it's a bit of a weird name change just because one's like sort of singular and one's like a sort of like a group naming thing, and I don't know. It's very one's singular and one's a multiple, and that always just strikes me as weird. Okay, how long have we got left? Okay, 7 minutes. So we got one Tyrogue. Bit of a shame. I would like the one more because I do need one more. Because I have 3 Tyrogues, basically, at the minute. So I do have enough for, like, one of each evolution. But, like, obviously, I want another one to keep as a Tyrogue. So I want one that I can evolve into a Hitmonchan, one that I can evolve into a Hitmonlee, and one that I can evolve into a Hitmontop. I probably will do that off-screen, actually, just because... Actually, no, I think I have the Tyrogue... Actually, no, I think I do have my extra shiny Tyrogue in the game. I'm not sure. I'm not like I'll need to check. If I have all my Tyrogues in one game, then I'll evolve them all. But I think maybe one of the Tyrogues I might have like left in the Pokemon home storage, and I would kind of like to compare them to check which one I should evolve into what one's the best one to leave as a Tyrogue, which one's the best to evolve into this, which one's best to evolve into that. But oh well. Right, not shiny. I hope I haven't accidentally run past any. Ooh, my neck is clicking as well. I do apologize if you can hear that. Okay. Right, Tyrogue. Right, where are you? Blue Tyrogue, my blue trousered shorts boy. Shorts and shoes. Ah, dang. Oh, so Miss Wannikin, if anyone wants to do multiplayer blueberry quests and farm a load of quests and get access to the starters, Miss Wannykins is doing a group multiplayer session, which is really cool because I can't remember if I said that last time or I was like, maybe we could like set up groups in other ones, in like other streams. But that was something I genuinely hoped for that would happen because last week we were only able to do like so few sort of quests together and stuff like that. And I obviously benefited the most being the like most sort of central player. But that's the thing, everyone else wouldn't have been able to have like got access to all the legendaries. So if you want access to all the multiplayer legendaries, join Miss Wannykins. The code is in chat. Okay. Come on, Tyrogue. How long we got left? 5 minutes now? 4 less than 5 minutes. What? I probably should do like the sprinting, but I don't know. I might accidentally just get a load of gravelers come up, mightn't I? Let me just check chat one more time and then... let's see. Yeah, you definitely don't want a shiny hunt like in multiplayer mode, definitely. But it's just, but yeah, if you want to farm the BBQs and get access to the legendary Pokemon in this game, join that group in the chat. I won't read it out loud because one, I'd have to stop shiny hunting, and two, I don't know. If anyone's watching us on a replay, it's sort of pointless. But yeah, you may as well get those group legendaries. Get them group legendaries. They can't be shiny, unfortunately, which is annoying. Like, it's annoying you can't reset them to be shiny. Like you, I mean, that's thing in Sword and Shield, you can get shiny legendaries from the Dynamax adventures, but in this, you don't, you can't, you whatever. So, oh well. Okay. Right, let's see. Okay, we got the Gravelers. Stop with the Gravelers. Okay, I'm going to go back this way, even though this is going to result in us getting a shiny Scraggy. I know we're going to get the Scraggy, but hey, we've got to mix things up a bit. We've got to see if we can get a Tyrogue if we go this direction instead. Geodude. Right, and then we'll turn around. Turn around, Neville. If you understood that reference, kudos. But only a few people would. Like Charlie, Andrew, and a couple of others. And Platinum, I always say Platinum, but we haven't seen Platinum in forever, have we? But oh well. That's why you gotta recommend your friends to watch the stream, because if we lose people, then oh no. But anyway, Buck. Unless like Platinum was here like 2 weeks ago and I've just forgotten. But anyway, Buck. Let's see. Right, Tyrogue. Again, I will be a bit disappointed if we only get one. But then again, I only got one the previous time I shiny hunted for this, so... Oh, are you? No. Yeah, it's just a bit harder to... Because that pink sort of switches into a grey. Again, if the whole thing was blue, if he switched from being pink to blue, I think it would be a very obvious shiny to spot, but... Because you have to look at the shorts and the shoes, which in fairness I kind of don't always quite do, but I kind of do it. Okay, come on, how long we got left? 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to go into fast mode now, even though this probably doesn't help. As I've said, going fast doesn't necessarily actually always make things better with regards to getting Pokemon to spawn in. It can actually, oftentimes, if there's another Pokemon that can spawn in, running fast will actually just make the other Pokemon spawn in instead of the one you actually are trying to hunt for. So just keep that in mind. I tell you what, actually, we talked about Drillbur earlier in the cave. Why don't I go for Drillbur after this? Like in a minute, we'll go for Drillbur. Right, hang on. Let's go back this way. Okay, there we go. Come on. There we go. Right. Come on. Last chance, Tyrogue. Last chance to be shiny. Because we're running out of time. Nope, that one's just sitting down. I was like, that one looks different. It's like, it's because it's sitting down. It's not because it's different color. It's just because it's sitting down. Okay, let's go this way. Right, 2 more, but they got brown shoes. Brawn shoes. Come on. Right, you're brown, pink and brown. But where's grey and blue? That sounds like one of those internet trends, doesn't it? Like pink and brown, or do you see pink and brown or grey and blue? I think that's the end of the sandwich because we're seeing dealing and a bunch of other things. Yeah, I think that's it for this sandwich. Okay, that's 1 so far. That's not bad. Right. Why have I got a random score bunny? Oh, that's the one we hatched from the egg. I remember the egg one. Okay, there's our two Tyrogues. Let's just check their stats, actually. Hang on, I want to check this. So you've got... Okay. Okay, so this one is, like, primed for a Hitmonchan. This one is, like, sort of quote-unquote prime... Like, this one's good for a Hitmonlee, although the attack and the defense are kind of close to one another, so that could be a good Hitmontop. I think ideally, if we're after a Hitmontop, we probably want one that is, like, not got an attack or defense affecting nature. So, like, this one's got defense down, which is why it's good for Hitmonlee, and then this one... Sorry, this one's a Hitmonlee, this one's like a Hitmonchan. But this one could be a good contender for a Hitmontop. So... Okay. Let's see what happens. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so hang on. We're gonna just get rid of a bunch of Pokemon here. I think. Let me just check though. Minior. Do I have like a Skarmory already? I feel like I had a Skarmory. Did I not? Okay. Nope. I just the other thing as well is I want to make sure I don't get rid of I don't want to get rid of any Pokemon where it's like, oh, I don't actually have one of those. So I'm gonna keep that Minior there, even though I don't think I actually need that Minior there. But then all these Pokemon I probably can just get rid of. I really should have checked my storage before the stream. I forgot I caught a bunch of Pokemon that I then didn't do anything about. Should have checked that. But I think these are all just... Hang on, I can just check the date on these, can't I? If these all came from 2030, 12, 30, 30, 30, 12, 30, 30, 30. Yeah. And then this one's caught today. Yeah, okay. So I think I can actually just get rid of all of these, unless any of them are shiny. That one has a berry. But I have everything here. That has Skill Link even. Whereas this one's got Kenai. Kenai, the main character from Brother Bear. Yeah, I'm gonna... I wish I could mass release. So this is gonna just take a quick second. Hopefully none of these are secretly shiny. I don't think I caught any shinies a week ago. I feel like I would have remembered if I'd have caught a shiny on stream whilst playing with a bunch of people multiplayer. I could keep the Grookey, because that's kind of fun. I'll keep the Grookey for a sec, because I don't know. It's a Grookey. And I'll keep the Toucannon, why not? I hate releasing Pokemon. I never used to release Pokemon until... It's actually Sword and Shield, I guess, because that's where I did so many raid den battles and stuff that I inevitably did fill up my boxes. So that wasn't really a fault of Sword and Shield as such, just because not a lot of people would play the game as regularly or whatever, but this game has so many Pokemon and so many different... It's oh, you want to get one of every Minior, and you got to get one of every starter, and you got to get one of these and one of these, and you got to get a Diglett and an Alolan Diglett, and it's just oh my gosh. Zonda, the internet, yay! Okay, good. And it's cramming. I like cramming, and I hope you guys like cramming too. Okay. So let's find my favorite cliffside thing that I keep talking about. So hang on. We'll fly. I want to get away. I mean, the wheels on bus and wheels. The wheels on bus and wheels. Okay, and then and then. Oh, okay, here we go. So see this bit of cliff thingy majig here, where there's kind of a bit of a swirl. But it's kind of it begins down here, right? And then, and look, there's Electabuzz and oh, Litten the kitten. We gotta get the little Litten. Oh, so this could be a good place to shiny hunt for Littens. But Litten is going to be available as a shiny in Pokemon Go in like 2 months, so I'm not going to bother. But oh, so hang on, if Litten's here, then maybe if you want a Scraggy, you better use a fighting type sandwich rather than a dark type sandwich. So just keep that in mind, I guess. But yes, little Litten. Whoop, nice. Okay, so if I see 2 more Littens, I'll catch Littens. I now may proceed to catch 2 more Littens before we do our next shiny hunt. But look, there's Magnemites and Scrafties and Electabuzzes and there's all kinds of Pokemon up here. But look, there was Golett and Golurk. If you do a ghost type sandwich, this is a great place to get Golett and Golurk. If you do fighting type sandwich, you can get Scraggy and Scrafty. If you did a fire type sandwich, you could do Litten, apparently. So if you did, I mean, Steel. Oh no, there's a Duraludon outbreak. Okay, hang on. If there's a Duraludon outbreak out here and I want a shiny hunt here, let's kind of pseudo shiny hunt Duraludon. I'm not going to make a sandwich. But, oh, for the love of Nelly. But let's just clear this Duraludon outbreak out the way, because otherwise we're not going to be able to shiny hunt for the Drillbur that I want to do. Pokemon Go will have a litany of Littens. Yes. Very good, Kevin. Very good. But yes, so let's just get rid of these Duraludons. I do apologize that this will slow things down. But hey ho, Ben's not here. We may get a shiny Duraludon. Because these Duraludons have like a... Well, actually, no, I don't think they have a higher shiny rate. But I think just outbreaks in general have higher shiny rates than everything else. So whilst we're doing this very boring Duraludon thing, why don't I talk about the thing that I said I was going to talk about today? I said that, I mean, I ended up talking about the age thing, which was kind of funny. But would you mind if I talked about the other thing I was going to talk about today? And I won't bang on about this like every week throughout the whole year and stuff like that. But it's just a thing that I think today of all days is an important thing to talk about. It's like, hey, if I have a platform, I want to try and use it for good stuff. So I may as well try and use it for this. And I do apologize. Please don't tune out and turn off. Like we'll get back to Drillbur soon. This is just blame the Duraludons for this, okay? The Duraludons have given me an opportunity to talk about this thing, but I do apologize if you're like, listening to me. And as well, this will be a little bit of like another bit of like a preaching to the choir thing, but this is just I don't know, if you have other friends who you're like talking to and blah 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 and stuff like that as well. Sometimes the things I say to you are not just for you guys' benefit, but to give you something to take away and talk to your friends about as well. Like if I say that like AI generated art is theft, like you guys know that, but maybe your friends don't. Anyway, bark. Let's see. So the thing I was gonna talk about. No, Duraludon. Sorry. I guess I need to keep moving around, don't I? Because otherwise these things are gonna come after me. Hang on, I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna close that down. I gotta just make sure my phone charges up today so that it's. Hang on a sec. Can I check one thing? Hang on. I'm just gonna. I will still kind of be here rattling away in the background. So for some reason, my phone does not charge very well when I don't use the charger that it came with. Even though it's a USB-C, it just does not seem to want to charge very well if there's a different USB-C and I don't get how or why that works. It's not like it's like, oh, is like your phone from England or something. Like no, nothing like that. You know, like it's just. So I don't know why it doesn't like to charge if it has a cable in it that's not the one that it came with. And it's weird because like it didn't come with like an outlet that goes in the wall. It just came with like a USB-C to USB-C cable. So I like had to plug it into a sort of USB-C outlet plug that I already had. So I don't know why that it doesn't work or whatever. But anyway, Bark, No, so let me go into, so it's very weird. So let me talk about the thing that I want to talk about today. It's like, hey, I have my platform, may as well use it. So today, so basically, we are now in the year 2024, which means, and this is a shocker, I know, because it feels so quick, and it feels like no time at all since the last one. We are now in an election year. Not just a leap year, not just like a year when the Olympics is going to take place, but an election year. At least if you're here in the United States of America. If you're not in America, good news, you can switch off and not have to, you don't have to pay attention to this. But to those of you in America and who are like 18 years or older, we are now in an election year, a presidential election year. I mean, that's like every year is an election year because like there are always elections going on, and so I mean, I guess I'd love it if. Hang on, yep, come on, attack them then. So you know, like I mean, like there are elections all the time, and you know, I'd love to say to you, hey, pay attention and vote in as many of them as possible, and like please do that. But the presidential election is definitely like the most important one. And not Hariyama. Can you like please just fight these things for me, please? Yeah, don't switch off the stream. Like switch off your brains. Like leave the stream on. I need the sweet view count. But no. But no, we're now in an election year, presidential election year, and I know it feels like no time at all since the previous one, but hey, that's what like the weird pandemic years have like done to us. And just like time gets faster and faster and faster. But anyway, Bark, we are now in an election year, and I know it's hyperbole when it's like sort of democracy is at stake and like this is the most important election ever. Like you've heard all these things like a bajillion times before. But the simple fact of the matter is elections do get more and more and more important, I would say. I would say as like technology evolves and grows and we all evolve and grow and everything else, it's like so too do our elections get more and more important as well. So and this is basically my favor that I would like to ask you, chat. Well, I suppose two things. One, like, please make sure you're registered to vote and that you do vote. You know, like people have fought and died for like the right to be able to vote, for us to be able to have our freedoms. It's like, so please just make sure that you do it, okay? For that number one reason kind of thing. Like voting's important, please do it. Please register to vote. Please like check like months before the election that you are still registered to vote and that you haven't been like removed from any voter rolls, that you like haven't been purged from the voter roll, because that is a thing that does happen to people. And in some states it's like okay if anything like that happens because there's like same day voter registration, but in other places if you like turned up and it was like, oh no, you're not on the voter roll list, and it's like, yeah, but I voted last time. Yeah, well, you're not on it now. If they don't have like same day voting and stuff like that, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do. And the only thing you can do is like to check like a few months beforehand. So just make sure that you're definitely on voter rolls and stuff like that, because that is a thing that happens. And you know, and yeah, and check your polling places and stuff. Make sure you know where your polling place is. Yes, Cats Are Fancy, that's a very good one as well, because again, those aren't always necessarily in the same place. Even in my little hometown in England, you know, some like what I think I generally was able to go and vote in like there was like a pub, but then sometimes I had to go to like the park. So MTTMP43, hi, lovely to see you. I'm sorry, I'm talking about very important, boring, grown-up stuff right now, so I do apologize, but the stream will reach a place of levity soon, I promise. Yeah, never take your right to vote for granted. I feel like a cat might be going nuts outside, but I don't know, so I might have to deal with him in a minute. But anyway, Bark, or anyway, Meow. But so that's thing number one. Thing number one, just like please make sure you're registered to vote. You know how to vote, where to vote, like have a plan, all that kind of stuff that everyone will tell you in like October and November, right? But I want to tell you something for like now, January. And basically, my personal recommendation, I'm not going to tell you like how to vote. Well, maybe I will in a few minutes, but not right now. but right here, right now. No, the thing I want to ask though is, please, not just like in September and October or in November, but like now and like throughout this year, I highly implore all of you, and this even includes people outside of America, for whatever country you're in and whatever politics your country has. Like, find some places where you can keep up with what's going on in the world and in your country. Oh, the Pokemon have dispersed. Okay, so we'll check these final few Duraludon, and then we will make our drill burst sandwich. But like, please find some places, like, they can be YouTube channels, they can that do videos like a couple of times a week, a couple of times a day, or whatever. They can be podcasts. It can be like, it's like sort of television news if the television news is good enough, or whatever it is. Find just like a couple of things, like 2 or 3 things or whatever, that upload stuff about like the news, and that, that deal in facts and stuff. Like, it's not just like spin and hyperbole and exaggerations and propaganda, but that sort of tell you the truth, but also as well, not just like give you facts, but also like give context to the facts as well. I'll get into an example in a minute, but basically, you may have seen me a couple of times in the last couple of weeks refer to how I do not like that, say, a certain someone referred to immigrants as vermin, and that's because the term vermin is a term that was used in, let's say 1930s Germany. And I think that context is important. I don't think it's not just enough to say, this person said that these people are vermin. I think it's important to say, this person said these people are vermin, and that's what a bloke in 1930s Germany did. Sorry, these Elekkids look different colors, but they're not. But basically, find some places that that talk about the news and discuss it and give some context to it and stuff like that as well. So not just like news, but also like that give like political commentary, and just find like 2 or 3 things that you like their content. It's entertaining. I need another Turtwig. That's like entertaining and informative, and that keeps you abreast of what's going on, because politically, for like the last 10 years or so, like, politics has been crazy. This is whether it's like in the UK or America or whatever, like all around the world, like politics has been crazy. And I think it's really important to keep up with it. I think there was a time where like politics was really boring and uninteresting, and you didn't really need to keep up a whole lot with what's going on, because like nothing ever really happened. Whereas now, like, stuff is happening every single day, and it's like absolutely, to quote my friend Ryan Bartley, wild. And like, it just, oh my gosh. And so I think it's important to keep up with all this stuff that's going on. I think there's a lot of really big things that happened where if they'd have happened like 20 years ago, people would be like, it'd be like front page news. Whereas now there are like big things that happen that just like don't even make the headlines. And it's a weird thing, but that's why I think it's important to keep up with it, because a lot of like mainstream media isn't keeping on top of all this stuff, isn't reporting all these like crazy things that are happening. And I think sort of, I think an election is too important to just like cram in your opinion in like a week or two in like October. I think it's important to, kind of be aware of what's been going on for like the entirety of, say, like this whole 4-year presidential administration, or what went on the previous 4-year administration, and so on. Like it's not just about how you're feeling on a particular day in October. I think elections are a reflection on, not just like the 4 years that have gone by, but like the 4 years before that, and maybe even the 4 years before that, like depending on how. In the UK, the Conservative government in the UK have been in power since 2010, so they've been in power for like, this is like their 15th year in power. And so you kind of like, when you vote, it's not just a vote on how things have been in like the last few months or the last year, but like the last 15 years. And if you don't like how like the UK has been in like the last 15 years, then it's like, guess what? Like there's been like this one group of people who have been responsible for that. So yeah, be like cramming and cram your vote in the polls. But yeah. Um, cram in your opinion. So, hang on a sec. I want to just catch up on chat for a sec because I just want to find out. I just want to make sure people don't hate me at the minute for talking about politics. But I think this is. But again, it's an election year. This is the most important politics can get. Um, Kevin, yeah. So I know what you mean, Beau. In a strange way, you're sick of elections being so critically important because of the very real pressure. Exactly. That's the thing. I don't like talking about this. I wish that I could just talk about silly Pokemon anyway, Bark. But like, politics is so important and like crazy and stuff right now that like we really do need to like pay attention to it. And you don't have to be as much of a political junkie as I have like become in the last couple of years. Like I like sit and shiny hunt like whilst listening to like these political videos and stuff that I'm like encouraging you guys to go listen to. And if you want my recommendations, I can tell you like what channels and people I like listening to. But again, that's not necessarily what I'm doing here. I just want to say find people where they talk in objective facts and stuff. Like if you look up what they say, it's like, oh hey, that's true. If you know, like don't just blindly listen to people, but listen to people where it's like, you know, it's like they're sort of quoting from reliable sources and stuff. But like but yeah, so but right, so hang on, we're gonna save our game and then we're gonna make a picnic and we're gonna try and oh hang on, what's a ground type sandwich? Is ground type like ham? I wanna say it's ham. Hang on, sorry, my phone is on charge, but it's like out of reach of my hand because I have to use this stupid cable that I talked about. That is like the only one I'm allowed to use for this phone. Um, Ground is ham. I like hamming, and I hope you like hamming too. Anyway, sorry. So what's silly about it is that Beau, an immigrant, is more politically active and invested than members of your family. It drives you crazy how little they care. I'm really sorry to hear that, Cats Are Fancy, because that's a shame too. Like, it. Okay, so sorry, I'm trying not to kind of like tip my hat so much about my own political leniencies, but then again, I've already derided the use of the term vermin, which is probably already kind of given the game away. But like, hang on, so we got our hang on, did I put lettuce? You don't put lettuce. Sorry, it's tomato, onion, green pepper, and then two of your filling. In this case, ham. Oh, hang on. Oh, and then the burger, and then we'll go with the spicy ham sandwich. Why not? Um, so um. So again, I'm trying not to like just be like vote this way, vote that way. I'm just sort of trying to tell you about how to think about politics and how to engage in politics rather than like you should vote for this because of this. But it's one of these things where, but I will just give you sort of like an example of a thing, and I do apologize again if this kind of tips my hat, but you know, like we've had stuff, right? Like all the inflation and the pandemic and stuff like that. And oh, jeepers, that's very wiggly and jiggly, right there. Oh gosh, if that burger slips and falls, I am in trouble. I am in so much trouble. I'm just trying to balance it out by putting everything on like the top of the bread, not the bottom. Okay, right, hang on. Last bit. Hopefully this bread doesn't jiggle the whole thing. Yes. Okay, we did it. Whoa. So, I don't think that people who disagree with you are here. I know. But again, I want to talk about this more generally though, because it's one of those things where I don't want to just preach to the choir. I want to, you know, like if there are any people who could go either way, I want to appeal to like those people too, or whatever. You know, because okay, here's one thing: there are a lot of people out there who, kind of are so inflexible and so stubborn in their thinking. You can show them facts and proof and evidence, and they will still say the same old nonsense and scary nonsense and beliefs and theories that they will say. Like, I mean, if you're in America, have any of you guys watched the... Oh, Golett is a ground type as well, isn't it? Okay, well, I might need to switch to the cave. I forgot about Golett. I forgot Golett's a ground type. I was hoping just for Drillbur and Excadrill, but okay, I might switch to the cave in a second then. Yeah, hang on, we're going to switch to the cave. So, Chargestone Cavern. Sorry, it's a cavern, not a cave. It's not just a cave; it's a cavern. But still, but like, for those of you who are here in America, a lot of you have probably at some point seen like a Jordan Klepper interview. Like, do you guys know Jordan Klepper from The Daily Show? And he'll go to, let's just say, political events, rallies, and he'll interview people, and they'll just say a load of like crazy stuff that you're like, what? But like these people are gonna vote as well, and so that's why it's like they're gonna vote, and like their minds aren't gonna be changed, and it's like, so you know, like like these are like he can say things to them and point out things to them, and they are not gonna change their mind. They are not gonna, like, even if you tell them like that, but this is the truth though. They're like, but no, it's not, and it's like, but it is though, and that's kind of like a weird, you know, we've got people who will just kind of believe things and not, they have no flexibility and ability to sort of change their mind or grow or evolve or learn or anything like that. And so, you know, it's kind of important that, like, hey, if you are like a flexible, rational, reasonable person, that it's like your vote means as much as theirs. So, you know, make sure you use it. You know, that's like, you know, going back to thing number one. But then but like, you know, it's one of those things where there are going to be people in your life who are more reasonable and flexible, and it's like, and people who you can reason and ration with, and so it's good to be like informed. And that's why I say, you know, do just have like some political thing that you check out like a couple of times a week or something, just to keep on top of like the big stuff that's going on, because it's important. It's important. And, you know, and if you do ever talk to those people and they start saying something that like kind of isn't true, and you can be like, oh, well, no, but the thing with that is that this and that and this and that and this and that. And then they'll be like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. And because they are like a flexible person, you can inform them and they can be like, oh, okay. But, you know, so that's kind of why I say it as well. But I just think it's important to stay informed. And I think as well, like a lot of the mainstream media aren't necessarily, the big mainstream media stuff isn't always doing the best job at kind of, I don't know, focusing on the right things or calling out stuff the way that it should or whatever. And so that's why it's kind of like, maybe don't just like find the big stuff to listen to, but find a couple of, I mean, some of the stuff I talk about is kind of big as well. It's like channels with like millions of subscribers. Like, I mean, that is big, but you know what I mean? It's not as big as like a multi-million-dollar corporation big. So, but it's like, but one of the reasons I sort of say about, you know, like sort of understand like truth and facts and knowledge and stuff like that is because like a lot of people are quite like hard up right now. You know, we've had all the fight again, like the inflation and stuff. Sorry, I was saying this a minute ago. Had all the inflation and stuff like that, and that's been bad. And again, I've told you guys about my issues with it and stuff. You know, I've had to pay off my, like, you know, it's like $17,000 in like green card plus like SAG-AFTRA joining fees in the same year that there was like crazy inflation and like egg prices went out of control and I had to stop buying eggs and all this other stuff. But like eggs are back down in price now, and like the news will say about how like eggs are a crazy high price, but they won't say that like, oh, eggs are like actually insanely cheap right now. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm getting eggs cheaper than I did before. If anything, like they're either the same price or like even cheaper than they were before. It's pretty, you know, to quote my friend Ryan Bartley, wild. But that's where like the media can kind of let you down, because they can kind of say all this like scary stuff that's going on, but then they don't really talk about like the good stuff that's going on. So you don't really always know about, a lot of people don't always know about the good stuff, and they don't really know things that like the economy is actually doing really well at the minute, and there's like record low unemployment and all this other stuff, and like the stock market's like at an all-time high, and there's all this other stuff, and basically luckily we're getting to a point where but like the effects that those things have on regular people can sometimes take a while to catch up, and then like maybe now they're just beginning to catch up and stuff like that. So, you know, but again, people don't always know these things or think about these things, or and so, you know, it's just kind of one of those things where, you know, if you only paid attention to like certain outlets, you would think that everything is like terrible, or there's no hope for anyone. And America as well has like a fascinating political system. It's really weird because again, coming from the UK, I kind of come from a system where like yeah, basically, if something goes wrong, it usually is just like the government's fault because it's usually because of something they've done. Because in the UK, you sort of elect a party rather than a whole leader. Like in America, you can elect a president who's like a Democrat, but then like the House and the Senate can be Republican, right? And then like all the different states can have like Republican governors. Like you could literally have like a Democratic president, but then like a Republican Senate, a Republican House, Republican governors, you know, everything, Republican mayors and stuff like that. Whereas in the UK, it's a little bit more kind of like, yes, you can get like like mayors that are of different political affiliations, but generally like you vote for a whole party and that party has like a majority, and so if they want to get something done, they just say, yeah, we're going to do this, and they do it because they have a majority of people to vote yes on it. Whereas here in America, it's kind of more, I suppose things can be a bit more divisive, and it can lead to like stalling of things happen and stuff like that. But it's interesting as well because what this kind of results in is like things happen in this country, but people don't really know like who to credit them for and stuff like that. So I mean, sort of an example actually is just quickly is like the Roe v. Wade thing, where it's like that's just like a random decision that like the Supreme Court randomly made one day. Like they were just like, yeah, this thing that's been around for 50 years, we're just gonna undo it. But there are people out there who think that like it's something that Joe Biden did, and it's like no, he wants Roe v. Wade, but it was the Supreme Court who got rid of Roe v. Wade. So if you don't like that Roe v. Wade got overturned, that's because of the Supreme Court. That's nothing to do with. That's not really anything to do with Joe Biden. Now, there are things Joe Biden could have done to perhaps prevent that or whatever, but that's a story for another day, and this is me getting way too into the weeds. I said I wasn't going to get too political, and now I kind of am. But this is why I'm saying, like, it's important to stay informed, because there are a lot of people who don't, like, know these things, and I unfortunately have gotten I'm too into the weeds. I was sort of interested in like the 2020 election, so I started watching some stuff leading up to that, and then obviously like loads of crazy stuff happened afterwards, like 3 years ago today, which was the point I did want to get into, which I still haven't yet, but like hang on, oh my ONG political podcast with Beau. I'll consult on law stuff. Wasabi, Wasabi. Just like sort of, it's interesting actually, Wasabi, because one of the or like a couple of the things I watch are actually very like legal based. I don't know if you know about them or watch them, but there's like, because now I'm saying it, I was like I won't get into like who I watch. It's like I'm now going to tell you who I watch, but like one of the things is like the Midas Touch Network, because they have like a bunch of like lawyers and legal professionals on there. They have like a lot of like legal stuff, and like lawyers and legal people like giving analysis kind of at the intersection of law and politics. But then also as well, there's like Glenn Kirshner, who does stuff as well, and he's really good. So yeah. So that's the thing. I have had like a bit of a crash course in a lot of law stuff as well. I do not pretend that I know a whole lot about law, and I will forget things. I'll be like, mens rea. I know that term, but I can't. I might not be able to remember. I think mens rea is to do with like intent, like criminal intent and stuff like that. But forgive me if that's wrong. It's like no, that's like that's like a thing to do with jury selection, and it's like whatever. But anyway, sorry. Now, but again, I'm getting, so you do not need to be as, again, like I said, so I got into like the 2020 election, and then because a load of stuff was like happening afterwards and stuff, and because that was like really sort of like a crazy thing. I really should look at what a shiny drill ball looks like. I think it is just pink, but I'm gonna get a picture up just in case. Hang on a sec. Drill bar. Sorry, I'm still here. Oh, that's actually not as different as I thought. Okay, so basic drill bar is like, so where drill bar normally has like a blue stripe on it, the shiny will have like a pink stripe on it. So actually, but it has like a blue nose instead of a pink nose. So hopefully I'll be able to tell the difference, but I might not ride around on Koraidon now because I don't know because I might not actually be. I was thinking that like instead of Drillbur's body being like brown, it was like the body that was pink, and it's like no, it's actually like the stripe that is pink instead. So I could have missed shiny Drillburs. Who knows? But anyway, Bark. So, but then like crazy stuff happened at the beginning of 2021, and obviously because there was like January 6th, which we'll get to in a second, I'm sure. Because guess what? Today is January 6th. That's why I'm kind of talking about this today. And that's why it's on my mind, because it's like, oh, we're in an election year and it's January 6th. But it's just like, but again, a lot of stuff's going on. So then I like kept watching it, and then, you know, more stuff happened, and then, you know, and then like, you know, 2022, at the end of 2022, there were the elections, so I got really into like the 2022 elections, and now I'm just like an addict, and now I'm trapped forever. Like I'll make a shiny hunt, I'll make a shiny sandwich, put on some political videos, and away I go. You know, like how else did you think I got like 700 shinies? By having nothing on in the background? By having Nintendo videos on in the background? No. So I do have Nintendo. If it's like the Pokemon videos come first, the Pokemon and Nintendo stuff comes first, but then once I don't have any Pokemon and Nintendo, it's like it's the political stuff. But yeah, you know, so you do not have to be able to waffle on about it as much as I have waffled on about it to you all just now. But I think it's important. There is a lot of stuff that has been happening these past few years, and I don't mean it in a critical way if I say something like I think people are ill-informed or whatever. I don't mean that. It's not like anyone. If you don't know a whole lot about like what's going on politically, that's not your fault. I don't insult you for that. But I'm just saying, you know, if you can find some people and group, like again, like Wasabi sort of having passed the bar. Congratulations again on that. You know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, maybe you might like Midas Touch or Glenn Kirshner or something, and then like other people, it's like, oh, maybe you're like young and cool, maybe you're like Brian Tyler Cohen, or you know, whatever kind of thing. I don't know, but like whoever you, but sort of, you know, and again, and to sort of go back with like what Kevin said, like it's so frustrating that this is like annoyingly crucial. It's like I don't want to have to think about this, and it's, you know, I don't want to have to think about this, and it's like, but I think we just kind of do. You know, I think we've kind of taken for it. I think like there was a time where we didn't really have to, and that was brilliant and amazing. But like we've kind of taken that for, you know, but that was sort of taken for granted, and then we've kind of transitioned to this weird period where I think we kind of do have to pay attention to it, and it sucks, but we do. So it's like, find your poison, find whichever like political YouTuber you like, and then and watch their stuff a couple of times a week or whatever, so that you kind of have a sense of what's going on, because it's crazy stuff. It's just really crazy stuff. But again, we're heading into an election year, and I think it's important to know about it, you know. And I do apologize that I like retweet more political stuff now and stuff, but stuff. Sorry, I'm saying stuff a lot as well. Whilst sniffing, which means I'm stuffy. So there we go. So anyway, Buck, I'm gonna check chat just to make sure that people aren't either like have died of boredom or just been like, oh, he's talking about politics. Oh, I'm out of it. So let's have a look. Your sandwich looks weird, not gonna lie. I know, right? Like, but it's what you have to do. You have to stack them up like asymmetrically. You can't make your sandwich look like a sandwich in order for it to actually like function as a shiny vessel in this game. So, but yeah. And no, cats are fancy. Sorry, I actually didn't read your follow-up comment. But like, no, that's completely okay to say that. Because no, it's annoying. It is frustrating when you hear someone. It's frustrating when you hear someone have like a political take, or they say something where like, you know, it's stupid or something, you know, where you're like, that's not right, or you're like missing the context or whatever it is. I mean, just about anything, not even about politics, you know. If someone like, again, I mean, you guys know me, I love my Pokemon Sword and Shield, and like, and it's just annoying when I hear these people who don't really seem to like Pokemon games but then they'll just like complain about Sword and Shield, and they'll be like, "Oh, Arceus is amazing," but then they like never talk about the flaws of Arceus, and it's like, like as a guy who's played like this game for like over 500 hours and Sword and Shield for like 600 hours and stuff like that. I'm not telling you Arceus is a bad game, but I am telling you it's a flawed one, and I have authority to say that, okay? And it's, whatever. But anyway, so let's see. But yeah, Wasabi, you love Jordan Klepper. He's fantastic. Like, but he's very good. But that's it. Like, he does a good job of making them funny, but it's basically, they're very good because they're a really good vehicle for feeding you something that's terrifying. Like, hey, do you want to see something terrifying but that will make you laugh? So yeah. So yeah, they have no desire to learn or fact check anything. I know, right? And it's sort of just weird. Like, it's just kind of like, don't you want to know if you're wrong about something? Like for me, I'd be too embarrassed about like looking like an idiot, like if I was like pronouncing a word wrong, like it was like, yes, the chameleon can change its colors. Yes, the chameleon, which is what Kecleon is based on. The chameleon. It's like, Beau, it's chameleon. Like whatever, but still. So, wait, is that why there was a big Prime Minister mess when Theresa May resigned? I can't remember what I said to prompt that, so feel free to remind me of what I said that, like, I mean, the UK's been a big mess for, basically since Brexit. I could go on about the UK thing for a while. But so Skywatcher, hello, welcome back. Sorry that you're coming in on like a big political thing. I'm only talking about politics today because it's like, we're in an election year now, and it's the anniversary of January 6th today. A terrifying and scary day that too many people do not recognize as terrifying and scary, and that in itself is terrifying and scary. So yes. Cats are fancy. You watch Glenn too. He breaks things down pretty well. They're quite like cozy and comfy. If the videos on his own channel are a bit too much for you, you could just sometimes watch. He like joins Brian Tyler Cohen all the time, and they're pretty good. But yes. So hang on. It's okay to like a video creator, but then stop when you've learned they've done something wrong. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. Yes, I can't remember what that's to do with, but yes. Or if someone said something in chat. In the UK you elect a party, not necessarily a person. Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, the UK. The UK is a crazy thing because, like politically, we usually get like a bit of a pendulum effect, don't we? Where someone or a party or whatever gets into power, and then, they get a bit of a honeymoon period, and then people get a bit bored or fed up or whatever, and they're sort of like, I'm gonna mix things up and then vote for the other party now, and stuff like that, and whatever. So that kind of, and basically that kind of effect happened in the UK mixed with like the 2008 recession. So basically they went from like the sort of left-wing Labour government to the sort of right-wing Conservative government. But the thing is that the Conservatives didn't win outright because they actually didn't get a majority. Their party didn't get a majority. So they had to join forces with a party called the Liberal Democrats, who are the sort of more sort of middle option between the two. So basically the Tories and this is like the real, like shortcuts version of what happened. So the Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats like were in power together, kind of thing. And then basically they did a bunch of stuff that people didn't. So basically they did a bunch of like conservative stuff that people in the UK didn't like. But the Liberal Democrats were kind of the only thing that were holding back the Conservatives from. Okay, yeah, you're not shiny. But so basically there are a bunch of like conservative policies that then kicked in under this sort of like conservative Liberal Democrat hybrid, but they didn't like go full conservative with everything because the Liberal Democrats are there, like kind of holding the Conservatives back. So basically the sort of the toes of dipping into like conservative policies had kicked in, and people didn't really like that. And so what did people do in the election? Did they vote out the people who were holding back the Conservatives or the actual Conservatives? They voted out the people who were holding back the Conservatives, and they gave the Conservatives full power, and then the Conservatives went full Conservative, which led to Brexit and has led to like the UK just becoming like really like poor and economically unstable. Like just the UK is like not doing well right now. It's just like, you know, it's like one of the like poorest places in Europe, and it like if you, and basically if you took London out of the equation, the UK would just be doing like absolutely terribly. And again, just since Brexit, like things have just not been good in the UK, and luckily I think like, you know, people are going to finally vote out the Conservatives because they're like, you did this to us. And it's like, yes, finally, people have realized this. This is, I'll tip my hat about UK politics. But like, no, but again, you know, but this thing, it's been a shit. But again, but it kind of comes from the party thing, because it's like, you know, they had David Cameron, and then he sort of cockily had the sort of like approved the Brexit vote, which then didn't go the way that he hoped it would, and so then he resigned, and then Theresa May came in, but she didn't want Brexit to come in, so they put someone who didn't want Brexit to happen in charge of Brexit, which is already like a Herculean task, and then so obviously that and she's just like a bit sort of useless anyway, so it's like you put a bit of a useless person whose heart isn't in it into a sort of Herculean task. That's not going to go well. And then, so then after like 3 years, that or however long it was, that obviously didn't go well. And then they put in Boris Johnson, who I don't really need to say much about. And then he was awful. And then they replaced him with Liz Truss, who would have been more awful, but she only lasted like 40 days or whatever, because people were like, wow, you're really awful. And then it was Rishi Sunak, who's rubbish as well. So it's a shambles and it's a mess. And yeah, we've had like 5 leaders in like 5 years or 6 years or something crazy like that. It's not good. But the point is, but again, I actually don't know and I don't really know a whole lot about UK politics, because I'm invested in America and US politics now. So I know way more about American politics than I do UK. But that's basically the weird thing. But yeah, because they have because they do have their system, it kind of means that, like, because you do sort of have the party system, it means that, like, hey, if you vote in... Because basically you're not voting in... The prime minister is just, like, the leader of a party. So, like, you're voting in a party, and then, like, the leader of the party is the person who will then, like, take charge. Whereas, like I said, here in America, you can have, like, an all-Republican this and an all-Republican that, but you can still have a Democratic president, or vice versa. It's such a weird and interesting thing, and I don't know how it works in other countries. Like in France, they have like a prime minister and a president, Mr. President. So I don't know how that works. It's like, well, if you have a prime minister and a president, what does the prime minister do? You know, like I legit have no idea. So I don't know how that works in countries like France, where they actually have like both. I have no idea. Also, this isn't quite the successful shiny hunt that I was hoping it was going to be. So we might have to switch Pokemon. I thought this was going to be a little bit more recognizable, but I don't know how easy or not it's going to be to spot these things. I kind of wish now that when I did my shiny hunting for the Golett, that I kind of wish when I did my shiny hunting for the Golett that I did a ground type sandwich, and I could have included some Drillbur and Excadrill shiny hunting into it, but oh well. Oh well, anyway, Buck. But anyway, sorry. So I'm sorry this has gone way more in the weeds than I meant it to. All I wanted to say was make sure you're registered to vote, and that you check you're registered to vote a long time beforehand and all that stuff, and that you do vote in November, and that throughout the year you find some way to kind of keep informed as to what's going on. Like, I won't do it for you because I don't want to turn this into like a political channel, but like but just you know, keep informed so that you know what's going on. Like, you know, stay with like truth and facts and numbers and objectivity and stuff like that, but make sure you also have like context and like knowledge of like what that objectivity and what those numbers means and stuff like that kind of thing. Like, if someone says something like, oh, the stock market is this number today, that doesn't mean anything unless you know how good or bad it is otherwise, right? Like, just as like a simple example, if you know, you know, like sort of like, oh, consumer spending was this year. Okay, but what was it like last year or the year before or whatever, you know? So blah blah blah, etc. etc. That's just my kind of thing, and I say all that because today, yeah, is January 6th, a day that was a sort of horrible and sort of horrifying, scary sort of, you know, blot on this nation's history. And there are people today who are celebrating the day, who are celebrating it. And yeah, and it's just kind of like that. Well, that's not good. And then there are a bunch of people celebrating it who are either in power or are seeking to have some kind of power and stuff like that. And I don't think that's very good either. So it's kind of like, you know, make sure you know who those people are, particularly the ones who are like trying to seek the power and stuff. And yeah, just that's just my kind of favor to ask you guys. Like, just, I know it's scary, I know it's annoying, I know it's boring, I know it's frustrating. It's like, what, I have to like watch a couple of YouTube videos a week for the next year. It's like, yeah, and probably the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. And you know, don't get as sucked in as I have, but like, just, and I mean, and again, you can digest it in a lot of ways. It can be fun stuff, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of like a really good one. If you're in America, I think the late night show monologues. When I say late, I don't mean the late show or anything like that. I mean the late show's good, but Seth Meyers does his really funny A Closer Look, and I love A Closer Look, and it's basically just, so it's like a comedic look at the politics, but it also talks about like the seriousness of them, and it does a pretty good job of covering the most important stuff. It doesn't cover everything that I learn about on all the sort of, you know, non-comedic stuff I watch, but it does a good job of it, you know. So if you like that, if you like the Daily Show, just please find something that will keep you informed and that you can watch a couple of times a week or whatever, because it's important, and you know, the world is watching and all this other stuff. And yeah, anyway, sorry to get into all that. That was way longer than I thought. That took like the entirety of like this hunt pretty much, and this hunt hasn't been going well, so maybe if I shut up about politics now, we'll get a shiny Drillbur. This is also way harder than I thought. I thought Drillbur was actually, Excadrill would be easy to spot. I think if I saw Excadrill, shiny Excadrill, I think would be easy to spot, but Drillbur's just that little bit harder. So I will check chat now to see if if people hate me or whatever. Crabrawler. Oh, you're talking about hints and stuff. Oh, that's funny. So anyway, so I was about to say, it's funny, there are two suggestions which I haven't mentioned, and I'll say why I didn't mention them. I think they're really awesome things to watch, but they're not specific to what I'm talking about today. So let's see. Let's see what we got here. Okay, right, I think that's caught up on stuff. So, shiny Pokemon, Lara Tiri, shiny Pokemon do not like politics, confound. I know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We'll get back to, no, there are I will just say there are two things that were mentioned. There's Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, which is superb. And then basically, if you like Last Week Tonight, there's an internet show called Some More News, which is excellent as well. The only things, there are two things that I'll say about those shows where there are two things I'll say about those shows, which are why I haven't sort of mentioned them in this kind of encouragement to find somewhere. I think they're good shows to watch, but they're not what I'm talking about. If you only watch those, like, go find other stuff as well to watch additionally, not instead of, but additionally. The reason why I didn't put those two shows is they're both shows that kind of, they look at like a general state of America and like how America has been in a long-standing kind of way, like long-term American issues. They look at kind of like issues that have plagued America for a long time and like fundamental flaws with America. And but the thing as well is they talk about like random little things. And whereas they don't necessarily, I mean, John Oliver might in like his full show, like the bits that aren't on YouTube, but they don't necessarily talk about the things that are, say, like topical to like the here and the now and the moment right here and now. Um, if that makes sense, like they're not really like I wouldn't really. I know John Oliver's show is called Last Week Tonight, so maybe in the bits that he doesn't put on YouTube, like there are more topical bits, but like his main segments, although excellent, they're not sort of strictly topical in a sort of like right here right now. They're things that have been going on for like ages that are super duper important to know about and super duper important to fix, but they're not what I'm talking about right here and right now. Like I'm talking about like, you know, like there's like a whole bunch of crazy stuff that's happened in like just the last week alone that like John Oliver won't talk about, like, you know, in February or whatever kind of thing, if that makes sense. And same with some more news. Like they both sort of do this thing where they look at these like really interesting, big, broad subjects, and like say flaws in like American society and stuff like that. But they're not necessarily like topical. And the other reason as well is just because you know, they will kind of delve into more negative things. And again, if you don't understand that they're like long-standing issues, you could just kind of look at it and think like, oh, well, this government's terrible or whatever. And it's kind of like, well, hang on, no, I'm sort of saying you need to, you know, look at the good things that like a government does as well. And that's why, like, you know, these political commentators and stuff will kind of, they'll just kind of look at like a bit of everything and they'll say this thing's bad and this thing's good and whatever. Whereas those shows sort of, you know, they can sort of skew a bit like too negative. And again, I want you to just kind of, I don't know, because again, some of these things will talk about like the victories. Some of these things I'm talking about talk about like the victories and the good things that go on, like good legislation that's been passed and stuff like that. Whereas these other shows can just sort of be a bit, as funny and entertaining as they are, they do sort of cover slightly more doom and gloom things and things where it's just like really like, wow, that hasn't been sorted yet. Wow, that's really sad. It's a bit of a bummer. So that's why I didn't mention those. They are both excellent. Watch them both. But in terms of what I'm talking about today, like sort of kind of staying on top of, because again, like so much stuff is like flying in and out, like things where it's like, oh, did you hear like 2 weeks ago, like, you know, this thing was said, and it's like, nope. And it's like, you know, there's just so much stuff. And that's why it's like, it's good if you kind of have these people like, say, like a Brian Tyler Cohen or a Midas Touch or a David Packman or a Luke Beasley or a Jesse Dollamore or a Farron Cousins, or whoever you like, whichever one, or a closer look from Seth Meyers. Again, if you want one that's just like funny but is also informative as well, you know, like a closer look is really good if you're in America. But yeah, anyway, so, but I mean, hey, if you're like in a different country that's not in America, I still give this advice to you as well. Like, find something where, you know, you kind of know what's going on in your country. Because even if I was in the UK and I wanted to know about the UK, I still there's like TLDR news in the UK, and I do watch like their stuff still to kind of have like some semblance of an idea of what's going on in the UK. But they're kind of like the only one. There's like another thing that I would totally watch if I was in the UK, but I'm not in the UK, so it's like I'm not gonna like subscribe to them and watch all their stuff, because otherwise I'll just be like, that'll be another thing I get hooked into and addicted to, and it's not even a country I live in anymore, and you know, so right, come on, drill bar. Ugh, okay, this was not the success I was hoping for. How long do we have left? 1 minute 49 seconds. Good golly gosh. Moses muffins. Okay, let's see if we can... Again, I think I might have like seen a shiny but not realized I've seen a shiny, because they're so small, and their shiny actually isn't that different than I thought. The only thing could be Excadrill. I don't think I would have missed an Excadrill, because they actually are like big, bright, and like pink and turquoise and stuff like that. Like it's more noticeable, but it's possible I missed Drillbur. I probably should have gone to that cliffside place, let's face it. But I was just so afraid of getting a shiny Golett that I was like, I don't want to do that. I know which one I'll go for next, though. I know the next two I'll go for, in fact. But, hang on. You weren't shiny, were you? You didn't have a blue nose, did you, little fella? No. But because basically, instead of like the blue stripe, they'll have a pink stripe. And instead of a pink nose, they'll have a blue nose. But that's like very small. But yeah, so just that's my kind of advice. get informed, stay informed, you know. Like, I mean, can I just ask one thing and then I'll shut up about politics? I promise, I swear. But, like, how many of you guys know about, for example, the fake electors scheme? Have you guys heard of the fake electors scheme? Do you, like, if you have heard of it, do you know much about it? You're like, yeah, I think I have a pretty, you know, like a reasonably decent grasp on it. But like, and I know with a name like the fake electors scheme, that sounds like a conspiracy or something like that. But I promise you, it's not, because it's a thing where like people have like pled guilty to it and stuff like that. So it's not like a, you know, it's not like a ooh kind of thing. It's like, no, it's a thing that happened that people have like pled guilty for and you know, like have been convicted for, and no, not convicted for, but you know, there've been like you know, like arrests and indictments and stuff for it and whatever. So but like that's one where I don't know if people really know about that, even though it's like this really big thing. You're not shiny, are you? You look very differently colored. Nope, that's just the lighting. Dang it, he looked really different color from him. Cats are fancy. Which one, Beau? Now, see, that's interesting. See, because, see, that's the thing. Which one? See, that is that is an interesting point right there, because it's like, because the fake elector scheme is something where it could be classified all as one big like umbrella thing, right? But on the other hand, you're not wrong that there are kind of like all these like smaller ones. Like it's kind of like an umbrella thing, right? So okay, but you guys, but see, that's what I mean. You two seem to know when you say which one. That gives me there's like, okay, you two do kind of probably know what that is, kind of thing. But yes. Shiny drill bars are apolitical. Yeah, I know, right? Or you could get your news off Twitter. I couldn't finish that sentence. Yeah, I know. That reminds me, if you need a laugh, just look up the entire segment of John Oliver he did for Chuck E. Cheese. I did watch that because it was like if you're like younger than such and such, don't watch this episode. Go watch the Chuck E. Cheese one. And I was like, I'm younger, so I'm watching the Chuck E. Cheese one. So, yeah. Right, okay, so hang on. We need to stop the game and boot it up again because we didn't get a shiny. But I do know what sandwiches. Basically, a sandwich lasts about half an hour, so we'll maybe do 2 more shiny hunts. But we'll kind of I think I know what 2 to do, and I think they'll both be good ones. So, oh, Ditto blocks, I'm so sorry. But okay. I don't want to get into a big description of what the fake elector scheme is, just because I sort of feel like if I kind of half effort kind of try and explain it, hang on, why am I did I oh bloomin' heck. I must have randomly saved the game after I made my sandwich, because I made my sandwich on top of those cliffs. Oh, Beau, you bloomin' fool! Why did I must have saved the game after I came to this cave, but like, why did I save? You save before you make the sandwich. So sorry, that was a waste of a sandwich, and that means I didn't need to just reboot the game just then. Maybe I thought I'd run into a shiny or something. Or maybe just out of habit I had. Like I was like, oh, I've just warped to a place, better. Okay. Oh, why did it? Hi, Shibartooth. Okay, well, hi, Joltik. Are you shiny at least? No. Okay. Oh, well, that's annoying. Why did I save my game? Yeah, that's why you save your game beforehand, so you don't waste precious sandwich ingredients. Okay. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go here now to the coastal area. But no, lovely to see you, Shibartooth. Okay. Oh, I can't believe I did that. I so rarely do that. That's why I shouldn't talk about politics, because I get too distracted. Right, I don't feel like these spicy sandwiches have been doing it for us. But I do know what will. Make a sandwich. Actually, although I do need to check what. Hang on a sec. Ow, my neck. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. No, that's it. I was like, it's the sweet something sandwich. So we've got tomato, onion, green pepper. And then our special ingredient is more onion. And then we got the hamburger. And then we go sweet, right? We're doing a sweet onion sandwich. So it's like a caramelized onion sandwich, okay? Just pretend that these onions are caramelized. They look raw, but they're caramelized, I promise you. Okay. So we're going to put down our tomato, and then we're going to put down our burger on the right-hand side. And then we'll do the pepper. We'll put the pepper on the burger, and then the onion. We can go like 1 and 2 and 3, and then we can go like 1 and 2 and 3. Like, I haven't even talked about Xenoblade Chronicles yet. How have I not talked about Xenoblade Chronicles yet? No, it's because of the day that it is today. But yeah. So onion. But yes. What star level of Terror Raids give Harbor Mystica again? 5. It's 5 and 6 star that will give it to you. Okay. You can, though, if you have the DLC, there are like 5 of the gym leaders where if you beat them, or like the coaches, where if you beat them, they will give you like 3 Harbor Mystica. So you can technically get 15 Harbor Mystica from beating, so Sparkling Encounter title. Okay, excellent. Okay, so what we're doing this time, we'll get a Azumarill in the lead here. Okay, so Oricorio. But we're not after Oricorio. We're after a different Pokemon. We are after Inkay. So Inkay will be a little bit hard to spot just because of how little they are. But I have confidence. I have faith. I believe. Chat. Oh, yeah, hang on. What we didn't do, we didn't do this, did we? Chat, I need you to spam, like, golden hearts and, like, I guess if there's, like, squids or octopi, then spam them in the chat. And sparkles, gold hearts, and like octopus squids. I mean, they're like squids, but I know they're like squids rather than octopuses, but there might not be like a squid emoji, but there might be like an octopus emoji. So if there's an octopus emoji, but not a squid emoji, it is a fine substitution for the purpose of this wishing of luck. Because I forgot to get you guys to wish me luck. And I forgot to say to like and subscribe. To like and subscribe so I don't talk about politics again. But yeah. So yeah, sorry to do that. But again, today is the anniversary of a very big day in American history and the beginning of what is going to be a very, to quote my friend Ryan Bartley, wild year, I'm sure. So yeah. So I just want people to be informed and to you know, just keep up with things because it's all going like a mile a minute. Again, there was a time where you didn't need to pay attention for news until every few weeks because news would only happen every few weeks. But now it just happens all the time and you can't like miss it. And again, like I think we did seem to have like 2 people who knew about the fake elector scheme, but I don't know about like everyone else. But yeah, that's all pretty wild stuff as well. If you don't know about that, look it up. And yeah, and to sort of to add on to our 2 people who do have knowledge of it. Yeah, it's not just a thing that happened in one place. It's a thing that happened in multiple places, which is why it's kind of like, oh, is it one thing or multiple things? And it's like, well, kind of both, because it is a thing that happened in multiple places, but not by like coincidence, or it's unlikely. Oh, there we go, shiny. Thank you for the luck, chat. You did it. See, this is why I need you to wish me luck. Yes. Yes, my friends. I'm sick of living in interesting times. I know, right? I just want to play Xenoblade in the dark. That's all I want to do. Okay, there we go. We got the shake. So, so we just made our psychic sandwich. I told you, sweet onion sandwiches. Sweet onion sandwiches work phenomenally. They just consistently. They just work really well for me. So that's our second Inkay. Unfortunately, I literally cannot evolve it on stream because I can only evolve it in handheld mode. So, but let me just pause the game for a sec because I now need to look up what psychic Pokemon I'm going to hunt for next. Right, so that's my sandwiches. That's my this. So what psychics do I have? I think I can probably unplug this phone now. It got to 99%, so that's fine. In fact, perfect timing. Wait, hang on a minute. Oh, hang on. We had... Oh, just now. Okay, 30 seconds ago. Okay, that was it. I was like, oh no, did I miss it? No, we just had Wonga from Tenchi, who tipped $10. Shiny luck as I send it. You get a shiny, lol. Great stream, lots of love. Oh, well, thank you, Tenchi. Clearly, the shiny gods could hear your typing away into the keyboard and were like, we'll do it now. So thank you. That's really, really kind. Thank you so much. Wonga! Okay, so hang on. We've got... Okay, so Inkay is now deleted from my list of Pokemon that I need. So there are two... Okay, so there are three Pokemon we could go for. There's Bruxish, there's Esper, and there's Solosis. I'm actually tempted to... Yeah, it'll give me luck for... I'm actually tempted to go for Bruxish. You can get Bruxish in, like, the savannah, like in the waters of the savannah. I don't know how viable or not that's going to be. As such, I'm actually gonna... Oh, for the love of pizza. I'm actually gonna... So that's why. So I'm gonna go for Bruxish because I like Bruxish's shiny. Bruxish's shiny. Skywatch, you're gonna leave the stream for now as you have to practice your instruments, and if you don't start now, you probably won't for the rest of the day. No. No. Okay. Well, have fun. Thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry that you had to join during boring political stuff, whereas now I'm gonna talk about random boring, like random fun boring stuff like cheese. Oh, look, there's a Bruxish. But no, so what we're going to do, we're going to go this way. And you're a Bruxish, and you're a Bruxish, and you're a Bruxish, and you're a Bruxish. So, but like, I love Bruxish because I love red and green as like a combo. And it's just like Bruxish, like, has such a busy, shiny color-wise. It's great. I love it. So... East Paldean Sea, sorry. We're going to go this way. We're going to just keep going and keep going and keep going. Okay, so there's a Bruxish. And you'll notice, if you go north of, like, Levincia, if I've got my place names correctly, and you follow this coast, the coastess with the mostess, if you go into this corner, see, look, you can see we're hitting an invisible wall here, right? Look, see? It's I'm holding up on the joystick, but it's turning me around. So when you hit this invisible wall... If you then sort of go this way and you, like, follow these cliffs, you will find a boatload of Bruxish. Look at all these Bruxishes. So, with Tenchi's super chat and the sweet onion sandwich in hand, we will now find a shiny Bruxish, I am sure. I'm going to send a Azumarill off to do some work to KO some Bruxish for us. To like thin out the numbers a bit and stuff so that more Bruxish spawn in, or it's going to retreat as soon as it KOs one of them. I'm going to save the game because we caught Inkay. Bruxishes, that's how I should say it, Bruxishes. But yes, so like there's a Quillfish. We don't want Quillfish though. It's not a psychic type. What are you doing here, Quillfish? You're not Bruxish. Why does everything end in ish? Ishmael, Bruxish, Quillfish, Sucksish. Terrible-ish. Right, okay. Right, okay, it's nighttime, or it's becoming nighttime. But yeah, I think, though, we might be able to find a Bruxish here if we really super duper look around. Hopefully this ends up... If this gets a shiny, that'd be really cool, because then we could go back to the DLC, to Blueberry Academy, and we could get Esper, or the other one that I said we were going to get. You're not shiny, are you? No. It's got a little... The other thing as well, with Bruxish, so it's like red and green. See that it's got that little kind of like bubble? It almost looks like an almost deflated balloon on its head kind of thing. Like, you know, if you've like blown up a balloon like a teeny little bit, it looks like it's got a balloon on its head. It's purple here. For like the shiny, it's like green, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but basically it's a different color than purple. I know that much. So if we don't just look at the body, but we look at the little like balloon head kind of thing, I think we will see this shiny, because you can see that purple balloon head thing from like a mile off. Like, it's so distinctive and dark. So if we can see a Bruxish, if we can see there's a Bruxish, but we can't see the distinct purple balloon head, I think that's like shiny. Okay, but so chat though, what I need from you now, I need sparkles, red hearts, green hearts, and fish emojis, I guess, and maybe a paintbrush. That is what I need next, because last time the shiny came right after you wish me the luck. So we'll get if you just do that now. If you send me red hearts and green hearts, sparkles, fish, and a paintbrush, I think we'll get this shiny pretty quickly indeed. Finizen, get out of here, Finizen. You Superman knockoff. Did you know that Finizen evolves at level 38 because Superman was created or the first edition of Superman was in 1938? Oh, I know, it's a pretty cool reference. Right, Bruxish. And if you get your Finizen to level 38 and you're like, well, mine didn't evolve, it's because you need to do it whilst playing with friends in multiplayer. So hey, I guess if Miss Wannykins and the rest are still playing multiplayer, evolve your Finizens. Do it now, whilst you have people to play with. Yes, right, Finizen. Finizen snips is what I always think of. Right, anyway, Bark. Let's see. But let's talk about fun stuff. We've talked about all the boring grown-up stuff now, about staying informed and fighting for democracy, because like our lives could crumble into nothingness if we don't. Let's talk about fun stuff, like Xenoblade. No, I'm having loads of fun with Xenoblade. I will post all my like silly pictures and jokes and tweets. I have so many of them, but it's like I'd rather just focus on enjoying the game and just do like a bajillion tweets once I've completed the game, rather than like trying to. Because the thing is as well is I used to do all my tweets during a game because I would like run out of space on my Switch. But I have a micro SD card on my Switch now. So I can like take as many pictures and videos as I want, and it means that I can actually just play a game, finish it, then I can do all my pictures and my jokes and my silly nonsense, and then I can move on to my next game. So, oh, and then update on Fire Emblem. I'll talk about Xenoblade in a sec, but mini update on Fire Emblem 3 Hopes. I only talked about it on my birthday, where I'd only played it a little bit, and I was a bit unsure of like how I was gonna find the game, but I'm happy to announce that I am enjoying the game much more now. It's not that I thought it was bad or anything like that. I just wasn't sure based on like the first like 2 hours or so how much I was gonna like enjoy it. But I am enjoying it a lot more now. I don't think I'm enjoying it to the extent that like say like, oh, I'm gonna do like all 3 house path stories or whatever kind of thing. I think I probably will end up just sticking to the one for this game, but I'm enjoying it enough to like keep going with it and not be like, oh, can I trade this game back in or anything like that. I'm impressed how basically it is like essentially just like it's Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Like it basically is just like Fire Emblem 3 Houses, but then apart from the main core gameplay, it's completely different. Sort of thing. It's then like this like hack and slash thing. But I like how there's like a strategy to the hack and slash. Like it's not just running around wailing on enemies. It's like, okay, there's like this little kind of like maze, like a fortress that's kind of like a maze, and you have to run through it, and it's like, oh hey, like there's people in the top left being attacked. You better go and like save them or whatever. And then it's like, oh hey, there's like a person in the bottom right now being attacked, and it's like, well, I either have to KO these both quickly, or I have to split up my resources so that say like half of everything is taking on the top left people, and half of people are taking on the bottom right people. And you're not shiny, are you? No. It's hard when they're underwater. That's when it's a bit awkward and hard. But oh well. So let's see if we got the fish. Nay, ain't okay. Lovely to see you. Perfect. That is perfect. And then Zach, or well, of course you got the fish, right? Xander, thank you. And then Nightbot's shilling stuff. And then Lara Terry, thank you. And then yeah, okay, I think that's good. So let's see. So I'm enjoying it now more. It is quite interesting being like, oh no, like stuff's going on in the other corner. I better go and like send this person off this way and that way. And so yeah, I'm enjoying like the mix of it, like the sort of the strategy and the fighting. The fighting is quite like simplistic, but it's still quite fun. So the game's not as mindless as I thought it was going to be. I kind of got it because I was hoping for something a bit more mindless whilst I was playing Xenoblade, and then I've kind of now ended up with like two sort of more strategic games, and that was kind of the thing I was trying to avoid. But still, I am having fun with it, and I'm enjoying the story and like the different. It's a different variation of the Three Houses story. It's like, okay, what if like Three Houses, but this thing happened at like the very start of everything instead? So you're not shiny. Oh no, you're a Shelder. I thought that was like a Finizen. I was like, are you shiny? And it's like, no, you're a Shelder. Okay. So like it's interesting because it's basically like, what if like Fire Emblem Three Houses happened, but with the like the main character of Shez instead of Byleth. So like that's kind of interesting. And then basically, so there's kind of things like, well, yeah, if Byleth's not the teacher, like who is at the school? And it's like Professor Yuritsa and stuff like that. He's a very weird man. For anyone who's played Fire Emblem Three Houses, they'll be like, yeah, Yuritsa's a weird man. But yeah, so it's interesting, and like, but like just visually, like the visuals, like the voice cast, the sound design and stuff, like the little clicks and sound that happens when like you're clicking on a text box or you're moving through menus. It's all Fire Emblem and Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's so but then just like the main gameplay is just this like running around hack and slash thing, which is just funny. So yeah. So, but I'm having a good time with it. I am having a good time with it. Again, I kind of wish I didn't have Xenoblade at the same time. And I know it's like, oh, well, you could like just go and like finish Xenoblade, and it's like, yeah, but then I might not be as into it. I don't want to like start it and then stop it. And I admittedly did kind of almost do that with Three Houses a little bit, but like, where I kind of stopped it for a few days, where I was like, I'm going to focus on like Mario Odyssey. I think it was when I got Mario Odyssey. I had like Mario Odyssey and Smash Bros. And like Pokemon Shield or something, and I kind of got Mario Odyssey out of the way, and then I was like, right, now I'll do Fire Emblem, but I don't really want to do that with Three Hopes, and it's a different enough gameplay that, you know, like it's fine, but maybe I might enjoy it a bit more if I wasn't like already sort of knee deep in another quite like strategic and like, you know, game with like menus and items and, you know, like what accessories do I give to what characters and this, that, and the other, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I am enjoying it, so that's cool. And again, I'm kind of largely in it for like admittedly, I am kind of largely in it for the story. So, and the story is interesting so far, and it's just cool seeing. It's kind of cool because you get to see all these characters that you'd like kind of heard about in Three Houses, but that you like never actually got. I don't think you actually ever got to see a whole bunch of them, or maybe you'd only see them if like they were on like one route or something like that, like one of the three house routes. But then again, I've played all the main three routes in Three Houses, and some of these characters I don't recall being mentioned other than like by name. So it's cool getting to actually see some of these characters, and like they get a voice actor, and it's like, oh hey, like they got that voice actor for like this character's dad who we never saw and stuff like that. So that's like really cool as well. How long do we have left? 14 minutes. Okay, we've got time. See, notice we are spawning in a lot of Broxish as well, so I'm not concerned. Like we're spawning in a lot of Broxish. That's a weasel. So we're spawning in plenty of them. So it's only a matter of time. It's just whether we have enough time left and whether we've got enough luck on our side is sort of the question. You're not shiny, are you? You just looked very bright and colourful from a distance. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'll let you know how it continues to go. The one thing that oh, hang on, shiny. There we go, the red one. No, don't swim towards me. Don't swim towards me. No, because you're gonna respawn, and then I don't. Oh no, there you are. No. Come back. There we go. Throw the ball. There we go. We did it. There we go. Wait, that's another one behind us. That's another one. Look. That's another one behind it. There are two. Incredible. That's incredible. There are two. There are two. No way. Oh my gosh. Here, look right there. See? Right there. Oh my gosh. Look at it. It's beautiful. I love it. I really like the shinies. This is so cool to get two of them. Hang on. And look, there was even a marking. I love it. I love this. Best day ever. I told you. The sweet onion sandwiches. Sweet onion. It works every time. Every time. Yes. Amazing. Oh, brilliant. I told you it's the sweet onion sandwiches. This isn't me. It's the power of the sweet. This only happens when I make the sweet onion sandwiches. Only happens with sweet onion sandwiches. Doesn't happen otherwise. Like, you guys just watched me, like, not get a drill burr for half an hour. So it's not like I have, like, some, I don't know, like, amazing luck or anything. It's just the sandwich. It's the sandwich. Yeah, Tenchi, thank you. Thank you. But I do apologize for your wallet, because in like 15 minutes when we make another sandwich, I am afraid you're going to have to shell out again so we get more. No, I'm kidding. Do not do that. That is just a joke. But like, but still. But good golly gosh, yeah, no, way to put in the work, super chat. Super chat plus sweet on your sandwich. Oh, hang on. No, we don't want the in-K. Sorry. Sorry, I've gone the wrong way. We're going this way. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know if I screenshotted that moment. I know I took video of it, but I don't know if I like screenshotted it as such. But that'll have to be the thank you all so much for joining my stream today. And I'll have to turn that into like a short or something as well. We'll have to see. You know, like, so I was catching so I found a shiny Broxish and I noticed something. Do you know what I mean? like, and then we'll make it go viral, chat. You have to watch it. I'll have to turn that into a short later and you'll have to watch it, okay? So hang on. So there are two Pokemon. So hang on, Broxish, finally off the list. Oh, there's Oricorio. Hang on, I need to sneeze. I do apologize. Sneeze. I think I might need to sneeze again, but we'll give it a sec. Oh, Solosis. Oh, Solosis is a hard one to spot, though. I need an Esper, so I think I'm gonna go with Esper, and then if we run out of time, maybe I'll go for Oricorio. So Esper's a little pink buddy. But basically, so Esper is pink, and then if we see any, I forgot what these guys are called, Meowstick. If we see any Meowstick. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Why do you have... Oh, you have like a little question mark thing. Oh, that's because you're like part of a blueberry quest. I thought that was something to do with shininess. So Esper are like little pink dudes. And then when they evolve, they sort of become blue and white. But if they're male, they're blue and white, and if they're female, they're white and blue, right? So like here we go. So here's like a blue and white one. So you're blue and white, and then if we see the female's white and blue. So the trick to this is if we see an Esper, they'll be pink, which I've said like 50 bajillion times now. I apologize. But if we see the Meowstic, Meowstic is will be white and yellow or yellow and white. Okay, so basically, if we're looking at a Meowstic and we can't see any blue on it, that's how you know that you found a shiny. So for the females, you will need to look a little bit harder. But don't stare. It's rude to stare at a lady. But yeah. So for the males, it'll be super easy because we'll just see a big bunch of yellow. So I think like a male Meowstic is probably the easiest one we would spot, and then Esper, like pink Esper, would probably be the next easiest, and then yeah. And then the female one is... So, of course, the shiny that I did get, of the shiny, I have one of these 3 shinies. Can you guess which? That's right, the female... The female one, the one that's hard to spot. Somehow I got the one that's hard to spot. Or harder to spot. Right, let's collect all these items. And I'll save the game, actually, because we got those Brocksesh. Chat, is there a Pokemon out there that looks shiny to you, but it isn't shiny? For you, it's Spider... That's interesting. Oh! Oh, man! Oh, okay, I'm doing this raid afterwards because I want to catch an Overquill in this game. I have an Overquill, but I've wanted to catch an Overquill, and they only appear in 6-star raids, so I will be doing this raid afterwards. And speaking of raids... that's not shiny. Speaking of raids... I probably don't really need to do any raids anymore in this game because I probably have enough sandwich materials to kind of get me all the shinies that I could ever want or need. As long as I don't like save my game after an unsuccessful shiny hunt and then does like the Justin Timberlake meme to the screen. Like, because that's a thing you can totally do. But yeah, but otherwise though... But otherwise, if you make a sweet onion sandwich and you catch multiple shinies in one go, I definitely have enough like sandwich materials for like one of each shiny that I want. And if I get multiple of each, if I get multiple shinies in one sandwich, then that kind of just like, you know, means, yeah, I don't need to do raids anymore. So, you know, where once upon a time ago, I'd be like, oh, I'm doing like a shiny hunting stream. Oh, I better farm for sandwich ingredients. Now I'm like, no, I've got enough ingredients. Like, and I could always shiny hunt in Pokemon Violet if I run out, because I've still got some sandwich materials in that game as well. So next week, by the way, next week we'll be doing the epilogue in our ice type challenge. Like, it really will be like the final, unless the epilogue is like a long thing. We'll be doing our final ice types in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Oh, well, Pokemon Violet. Which, you know, end of a journey. Like, you know, sad moment. But then again, we kind of thought, like, it was going to be the end of it, you know, like a few months ago. And then it's like, oh, why do I keep checking that? We already know what that is. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully we'll see everyone. Hopefully we'll get, like... Oh, there we go, shiny! Pink! 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 Yes! I told you, sweet onion sandwiches. They are incredible. This happens every time I hunt for psychics. I'm like, it's astonishing. Oh, it's female! Ah! I was hoping for a male one, because then I would definitely have one of each. Because now the question is, chat. I tell you, sweet onion sandwiches, do them, okay? Hunt for psychic types. It's incredible. Has never failed me. Right, okay, so we've got 5 minutes left. Chat, what do we hunt for, right? Do we hunt for another Esper to see if we could get a male Esper, and because we're already here and stuff like that, like either a male Esper or a male Meowstic, right? Do we hunt for one of them, or do we switch to Oricorio, which I do already have 2 of, but it's like, hey, this could be an easy way of getting like the other 2 that I need, Or do I try and hunt for Solosis, which might be a bit harder to hunt for shiny because it's a bit harder to spot them, but they will spawn quite easily and stuff. So I think really the choice is between Esper and Solosis, but I think Solosis might be a better one for me to do like off stream. I did do a Solosis hunt a couple of weeks ago, and I got shiny Reuniclus. So it's like I do specifically need like Solosis and Duosion. But yeah, so I think Esper might be the better one, and also because last time we did a shiny hunt where we hunted for a specific gender, it worked out really well for us when we had to do Litleo, and I needed male Litleo, and we got the male Litleo. So, but bead Pokemon Beau. That's a good point. Oh, Tenchi makes that is a compelling point. If we'd have gotten a male Esper right now, I would be inclined to think, let's keep going for Espers, you know. But let's go for Solosis. Let's mix it up. Let's mix it up. I might have even, I can't remember whether I put Solosis in the thing or not. Anyway, okay. Let's go for it. Let's go Golosis for Solosis. Okay. I will need to just double check what the shiny looks like and how subtle or not the difference is, though. So just give me 1 second. Oh, that is very subtle. Duosion's the worst one, though. Duosion is far worse. Like if we see Duosions, I'm in trouble. But Solosis is fine. The main trick to Solosis, so instead of like being green, it's like a bluey green, which isn't helpful. But the main thing is it has its little bit of squiggliness in the hair. It has like a little bit of a squiggliness in the hair, and the squiggliness will be dark instead of yellow, except all of those look pretty dark instead of yellow, so I don't really know how they look different. So I'm going to switch to land. We're going to traverse on land, because on land I can use Meowscarada. Hi, Meowscarada. How you doing, buddy? There we go. Nice. Okay. So, but we might have to inspect these a bit. So that looks quite yellow. Oh, but Duosion's going to be hard, man. If I see a Duosion, I'm just going to have to, like, check them. So this might be a wee bit slow and a wee bit boring. But let's see if the power of the Psychic Sandwich can save the day, or something like that. So that looks yellow. See that little squiggly thing? That's yellow. So if that is more like a sort of, I don't know, a richer orangey color or something, then we know we have found our little dude. But for Duosion, I really do not know what I'm looking for if I see a Duosion, other than it's sort of more blue than green. But I saw like Cerebi posted a picture of a Duosion he got a while back, and I was like, but that looks the same. Like, I thought it was supposed to look more blue, but it looks the same. So, you know, we'll have to see how this goes. But like, that looks green with a yellow thing. That looks green to me. You know, this looks green to me. They all look green, man. I'll probably just end up getting another Reuniclus, won't I? That would be the funny thing. That looks yellow. That looks yellow. Forgive me if I say, like, that looks green, that looks yellow, and it's like, hang on, you're, like, mixing up the colors all the time. It's like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Like, I know what I'm looking for, but forgive me if I, like, change up what I'm looking for as I look at each Solosis or Duosion. Forgive me if I change up what I'm looking for in each Solosis and Duosion. Oh, no, don't run into it, no. Ow. Can onion sandwiches give you psychic powers? No, but they can get you shiny psychic Pokemon. Exactly, Kevin, exactly. So let's see if we can... How long have we got left? 3 minutes! That's not enough time. Well, it is with a sweet onion shiny sandwich. Sweet onion sandwich, baby. So it's 3 onion, tomato, green pepper, and a burger. And then use a silver pick, or a Kevin pick, a silver pick, a Kevin pick, as we call it here at Beau Video Games, and yeah, and you will catch like a bajillion shiny, psychic shiny types. Obviously, you have to make sure that your shiny types are easy to spot. If you're trying to get Solosis, it won't work. But if you're after like a Drowsy, go to one of those like fortress places. If you're after a Giraffarig or Farigiraffe, like they're pretty good. If you're after Inkay or Esper or Bruxish, you know, like it works. It just works. I don't make the rules, chat. I just tell you about them. Okay, I don't know why I'm going after the Reunicluses. I do not even need to go after the Reunicluses. You look normal. Hang on. That's not shiny, is it? That looks different coloured. No. Okay. Sorry. Again, poor lighting. Stuff looks different. That one in the background looks different. Do you know what I mean? Like that one in the background doesn't strictly look like super green or anything to me. So I'm going to have to check this now. That one is shiny. That one is shiny. Yes! Sweet on your sandwich. Yes! Tenchi, thank you for the recommendation. It was your super chat, so you made the right choice. You got the choice. Oh my gosh. I told you, chat. Sweet on your sandwiches. Like, so I have pretty much gone through my entire psychic list in this one sandwich. That is the power of the sweet on your shiny sandwich. Right, Meowscarada, we're back on land now. Don't even need to check the duosions anymore. We can just check these little guys to see if they've got the yellow squiggles or the orangey, more orangey squiggles or whatever. What an incredible shiny hunt. What an incredible shiny hunt. Like Drillbur, I mean, screw Drillbur. I'm sorry, Drillbur, that you don't care about the state of our democracy. Go join Sylar. Sylar's a menace to democracy. Go join Sylar. But yeah. No, fight it, please. I know that's not shiny. He's like, I don't want to fight this one. It's like, it's not shiny. You can fight it. Like, I know that you're allowed to fight it. So go fight it. Like, my luck's not that good. Okay. The other thing as well, you do have to understand that I do often leave, like, the best shiny hunts for streams, like, the ones where I'm most likely to succeed. Like, guys, I tried for Seal a whole bunch of times without any luck. Like, oh, gosh, like, Seal is a brutal one. And also, I just noticed a bunch of Milcery. Have we run out of sandwich? We have run out of sandwich. Okay, chat, we're going to do one more shiny hunt. I'm actually going to just check something first, though. So hang on, we're going to save our game 50 bajillion times, because that's what we do here at Brovia Games. And then we're going to... So hang on, I'm actually even going to get rid of... I have, like, a bunch of tabs open of, like, Cerebi sprites. I'm going to get rid of Duosion, because I don't need Duosion anymore. Love it. Brilliant stuff. Amazing. Good, great, awesome, amazing. Okay, and I think I can probably get rid of Bruxish as well. Where's Bruxish? Get rid of you. Okay, excellent. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I love this. Okay, so our final hunt. I don't know what I put in the thumbnail. Our final hunt. Okay, so no, I won't do that. I won't do that. Yeah, because that I can do on the other one anyway. So I need to sneeze. Okay, well, if you're gonna sneeze, Beau, sneeze. Aha! Okay. Do we go for that, or do we go for... I think... Yeah, no, I know what I'm going to do. Okay, so I just need to look up a recipe, because I hate making this sandwich with burgers, so I think this would be easier if I delve into... I think this would be easier if I delved into my other sandwiches. Yeah, dang it. Okay, yeah, no. But I'll happily do this, because this is a tough sandwich to make with... I like doing burger sandwiches whenever they're, like, easier to make, but there are some ingredients where they just don't, like, stack up as well and stuff like that. And as such, it's like, okay, I'm just going to use the Salty Herba Mystica and... I'm just going to use the Salty Herba Mystica and do the easy strat, and yeah. So... Okay. Blah. Oh, okay, so are these Oricorio shiny? No, they are not. Okay, There's a Lomomola. Oh, and there's Executor. I do remember one time I was like, I was like running around and I turned around and there's like just, a yellow Executor and it's like shiny. Unfortunately, I already had the shiny because of like Pokemon Go, but still, that was a fun moment. Right, let's fly up. Okay, nice. Okay, so hopefully there's enough space here to do what I need to do. I do apologize for being a bit congested or whatever. Okay. I feel sad because it's one of those things where I'm probably going to like go out and do this Rowlet shiny hunt. And I'm probably going to be done in like an hour because I only need to get like 3 for my Pokemon Go and then 1 to transfer into this game. So I'm going to like go on a walk. I'm going to walk around and then I'll probably get them in like an hour and a half. And it's like, oh, well, if it only takes like an hour and a half, then I could have stayed on and done like an extra hour of shiny hunting. But, oh well. Like with you guys here on stream. But hang on, I just want to save the game actually. I know I saved the game like 50 bajillion times, but I can't remember doing it, so I want to just do it again. Okay. Right. So, picnic set. Do you want to make a sandwich? Yes. So we're not going to do the burger one, okay? So the burger sandwiches are really good because it's like tomato, onion, green pepper, 2 of your magic special ingredients, so like 2 onion, 2 pickle, 2 tomato if you want fairies, red bell pepper if you want fire types, stuff like that, and then a burger with it as well. And then you can use I recommend doing 2 of a Herba Mystica, of the same Herba Mystica, but if it doesn't work, use 2 of a different one, because sometimes they don't always work. Sweet sandwiches don't always. Sweet sandwiches are either brilliant or terrible, and then sometimes like sour and bitter can be a bit weird as well. So, but here today, so for a bug sandwich, if we're doing a bug sandwich, which is what we're going to do now, we're going to go for a bug type Pokemon. You do cherry tomatoes, but look at how tiny and finicky they are. As such, this is where I'm going to use... Don't use salt, though, because salt is good for these like sandwiches where you only use 1 ingredient. See, I actually don't have a whole lot of salt for the salty Herba Mystica. But if we use salty Herba Mystica, then this is a lot easier to maintain. Oh, I didn't do the Quillfish raid, the Overquill raid, did I? Oh, crud. I meant to do the Overquill raid. Okay, well, after this, we'll do the Overquill raid, and then we'll call that the stream. Okay. Oh, the Sealer. But even that's so finicky. Oh, very, very finicky. But yeah. But then, for the other sandwiches, for the awkward ones, like cherry tomato for the bug, lettuce for grass, there are a bunch of recipes where you just use 1 of the ingredient, and then, 2 specific Herba Mystica. For lettuce, it's 1 salty and 1 sour. So that's quite a good one, because you don't need, 2 salty for that. So, West Coast, yes, Satella. So, yes. No, I'm not, especially cold. It's just that I get congested because of, how I have to, how I have to posture myself and stuff when streaming and stuff like that, and whatever. So, okay, look, there's a Jupiter, and there's the, what's the little one called? There's Jupiter, and there's Araquanid. So, there we go. Okay, so, yeah, we want Jupiter, we want Araquanid, we want these guys to be what spawns, but we just need to make sure that they actually do. We'll get a Azumarill, because we want to get rid of the Alomomola. Okay, so these guys should be quite easy to spot in theory. An in-game theory, because they're purple and red instead of blue and yellow. So I'd and the flippin' Araquanid is going to be especially easy to spot. But let's run around on the grass for a sec, because I think they appear in the grass as well. So it might be a bit easier to spot them in the grass than on land. From the earth, the land, the sea, and sky. Who knows? If you understood that reference, kudos. I am just going to look up what Jupiter looks like. But yeah, so But this should take us to about 2 o'clock. I can then do that Overquill raid. Please, for the love of Nelly, remember to do the Overquill raid, Beau. And then we'll call that out, okay? Let me just get a picture of Jupiter up on my phone. Those are all the sandwich things. Let me see. But yeah, it's like purple and red. I don't think I should miss it. It's just if it's like buried really deep in the grass. Yeah, so instead of blue, there's red. And instead of the like lime greeny yellow, there's purple. So basically, if we see red in the bubble instead of blue, that should be good. So, I mean, basically, if we see red and purple, if we don't see blue and yellow and we see red and purple, like, we're good. You know? Like, if we don't see these bright blue and yellow colors, but then we see, like, red colors, like, that's how we know, like, oh, hey, it's a shiny. But it's a bit annoying because there are these, like, flowers here, which are a bit of a distraction. Just got to check that none of these guys are shiny. Because you never know. You never know when a shiny can appear. Even if it's not the type of sandwich you made. That happened in my first ever shiny stream and I didn't really understand how sandwiches worked. I just thought I was, like, getting a boost. I thought I was just getting a boost for all shinies, not for, like, a specific type. And then Kevin was like, wow, that was amazing. Like, 3 of your 4 shinies were just, like, nothing to do with your sandwiches. And it was like, oh, wait, yeah. Because the sandwiches don't just boost encounter rates, but they boost the type of Pokemon that actually can be shiny, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, huh. I was like, huh. Yeah, that was kind of... So that was very lucky. I'll give you that. I will concede that for sure. But anyway, Bark, we've got half an hour left. What do we talk about? I say let's talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 3. No, I won't talk about it forever, but it's so good, and I'm loving it, and I'm just so happy I'm playing it, and I like this year because like it had been like last year had marked like 8 years or maybe like say 7 years since I'd played a Xenoblade game. Like when I played Xenoblade 2 last year, it'd been about like it'd been like over 7 years since I had played a Xenoblade game. And I knew I had enjoyed my time with Xenoblade immensely, but after that long amount of time, you know, it's just sort of one of those things where you forget how much you love and enjoy it. And when I played 2, and here's the thing, can I say something? I don't like admitting this, but I'll admit this to you guys. But it's one of those things where when like 2 was announced and stuff like that, I wasn't as into the idea of 2 for a bunch of reasons. One, I didn't have a Switch, so I like wasn't sort of excited for it and stuff, because I wasn't excited for anything coming to Switch, because I didn't have a Switch, and I knew I couldn't buy a Switch, because I was like planning to move to America, and I couldn't afford to buy a console, and it was pointless buying like an English console for, you know, when I was gonna move to America. So, you know, like, oh, it'd be a nightmare to charge up and to buy games for and stuff. And I know the game is, the console's actually, like, region-free and stuff like that, but I still think, like, charging the thing up would have been a pain and stuff like that. I mean, look at my phone. It's like, oh, it needs, like, this very specific charger, even though it's, like, USB-C for everything. Whatever. So like, you know, I wasn't really excited for anything on the Switch. I wasn't like excited for like Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild or Xenoblade or anything. So that was thing number 1. And thing number 2 was I really loved Xenoblade X, and it had like a cliffhanger on the edge at the end of it, and I wanted there to be a sequel. I wanted Xenoblade Chronicles Y. And I was annoyed that we weren't getting Xenoblade Chronicles Y. And I was like, but 1 ended so, like, nicely with, like, a neat little bow on it. Or a neat little me, as I would say. And I was like, but like, Xenoblade X is the one that's, like, screaming for a sequel. Why are we getting a sequel to the game that doesn't need a sequel? I was a bit salty about that. And then I was salty as well because, like, I wanted to move to America. And America was where they had recorded Xenoblade X, and it was the game where I thought they were going to do a Xenoblade sequel. And I was like, if I move to America, I'll get to be in a Xenoblade game, because I'll get to be in the Xenoblade sequel. And then they were like, hey, yeah, we're doing one, and it's still in England. And actually, admittedly, I was still in England at the time. So in theory, a game theory, a voice acting theory, I suppose in theory, if I'd have had like a London agent or something like that, maybe I actually could have been in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, technically. But I was actually a bit salty and annoyed that they were doing a game in England and that they were doing voice acting in England. I was like, why are you doing voice acting in England? Why aren't you doing... Oh, shiny. It's little, but it's there. I didn't even get you guys to spam emojis. The game emojis. Look at that. It's beautiful. Love it. You love to see it. Skywatcher, you found shiny Poplio! Nice! Yes, Dupida is a Xenoblade fan. Canon. So do you have to watch a long YouTube video to catch up on lore or anything? Oh, hang on. Yeah, also, that's the thing. Cats are fancy. Never played a Xenoblade game and now feels too late to try. No, it's never too late. And that's the thing. They're all available on Switch and they go on sale quite a lot. Well, except for 2, which I've talked about. Like, 2 doesn't ever go down in price, unfortunately. And it's, like, hard to get a physical copy of. Although, if they ever have, like, a Nintendo Switch Select or anything like that, I'm sure it'll be a good candidate for it. But, like, all 3 main games, 1, 2, and 3 are on the Switch. So, honestly, it's not too late. Like, now is a perfect time to play. And like I said, like, I've seen Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 3 for, like, $40. So, they, like, do go cheap. So it's actually, like, quite a cheap series to get in as well. Like, if you, like, got, like, 1, 2, and 3, you could get, like, all 3 of those for, like, you know, like, $160 or something instead of... like no, I just did the math wrong on that. Sorry, $140, which is like about the price of 3 games. I mean, you may want to also get DLC as well, possibly, depending on how much you enjoy them. But I mean, I'm not saying buy all 3 of them. Like, you can buy number 1 first and like see how it goes. Number 1 is also the longest game of the 3 of them, from what I understand. Like, I thought 3 was going to be like really long, but from what I understand, it's actually not that massive. Like, it's got 7 chapters and I'm currently in the 4th one, and I mean, I think the chapters are longer than previous games, but I actually think I may be at like a halfway point now with the game or something like that. So even though I've only had it like a week and a half, so we'll have to see how long 3 actually is. And in fairness, I am delving into a lot of side quests and stuff on it, and I got the DLC for it, so I'm doing like DLC stuff whilst I'm playing it. So, you know, it might end up taking me like a good like 100 hours or something like that. But still, you know, I'm sort of getting close to like the 40-hour mark or something like that, I want to say. So like 1 is like the longest one, so it is kind of like, in some ways it is like the biggest investment out of the 3 of them time wise, but that's the thing. But you do want to play them in order, because 2 ties into 1 so amazingly, and then 3, I was shocked with 3 at how many references I've seen to Xenoblade 2 already, because I was tempted to like maybe get 3 without having played 2, because like I said, 2 is like so difficult to get a hold of and stuff. If you don't want to go down the digital route. And yeah, like but it was just one of those things where, but I'm shocked with how many references to 2 that like 3 has had, already. You know, so, but they're such good games and they have such incredible stories. And I can't think... I haven't played a whole lot of other games like Xenoblade, so if those of you in chat who are more savvy with like other games on other consoles, like, oh, if you've played this game, you'll like Xenoblade. I mean, one example I would give is if you like the gameplay of Trials of Mana, like Trials of Mana, it's quite... I think the gameplay of Trials... Because when I played Trials of Mana, I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of Xenoblade. Like, you take control of a character, and you have like 2 other characters that like do auto attacks, and then you will kind of like manually do attacks, and it's not like turn-based. I was gonna say, that's a shiny. Yeah, I was like, that looks purple. I can't see any red, but yeah, okay. Well, there we go. So again, Dupida like Xenoblade confirmed. I can't believe this. This is great. This is just amazing. This is amazing. Incredible. Yeah, that's the DLC for 2 and 3 is really good. And I really want to play 2 through with like the DLC that's available, because basically each of the games has DLC where like you get items and characters and stuff like that during your gameplay, but then they have like these like epilogue stories, sort of thing. And okay, so hang on, we just got our 2 bugs, so so it's like, oh, so now what? Like, you just got your 2 bug Pokemon. Yeah, so what we're gonna do now is there's only like one other bug that I need. Unfortunately, it requires us to go back to our least favorite place in the game, Charged Stone Cavern. I'm now gonna get rid of Dupida and Araquanid from my spreadsheet and stuff like that, because I don't need them on it anymore. But yeah, the only other bug type I need is in this cavern, and it's also one of the hardest shinies to get. I don't really know why I put it in the thumbnail and advertised it as a Pokemon that I'm going to hunt for, because I'm not really going to like hunt for it. But oh well anyway, Bark. But let's see, hang on. Let me just check some stuff. This is going tremendously well. So I'm ill prepared for how well this is going. Okay, and that's like I gotta take some screenshots of all these shiny Pokemon afterwards. This is insane. So here we go. So Joltik. I want to catch Joltik, but Joltik looks it's tiny and it looks really similar, and so I don't know how well I'm going to be able to find it or not. They're basically sort of like brighter in color. They'll be like more it's more like neon-y yellow green. But it's just whether we're actually going to be able to spot it or not is the question. Like that looks pretty like yellow. I'm now going to spend the rest of the stream saying yellow. Unless anything looks brighter. Like you're not brighter, are you? See, that looks quite bright. You're not shiny, are you? No, that's just the lighting. So, okay. Right. They gather around you? Oh, that's a game changer. One thing you can do while shiny hunting is you can get their attention, like, question mark. And then, like, this one looks quite bright as well. Like, question mark. You can whistle to get their attention. But then, look, they, like, hop over to you. But look, they don't actually attack you. So there are some Pokemon where they just like to stop and look at you. But see, like these 2 look different colors to me. It's subtle, but they look different colors. So we'll see if we can notice like a very neon. I would say it's like less yellow and a more like a sort of sickly. It is like a yellowy green, but it's like less yellow than these guys. These guys are more yellow. So I would say it, but yes. Anyway, Xenoblade 2 and 3. So they have all this stuff that you can use and like have during your playthrough, like items and characters and stuff that you can utilize. But then they also have these like epilogue stories that are designed to play like once you beat the game. But they're also like totally separate modes. Like you can play them at any point, and you don't have to have like beaten the game first or anything or whatever. So these all look yellow to me, but I don't know if anything over here is kind of neon. Are you neon? I need all these little dudes to despawn so that then more can spawn. Man, if I got like 2 of these guys, how long do we have left? 17 minutes. We got the 2 Dupidas in less than 17 minutes. I told you, sandwich hunting. It's great. Hang on, you look pretty pale. But then when I get up close to you, you're not. See, that looks yellow. When I run up to you, you look yellow. When I run up to you, you look yellow. When I run up to you, you look yellow. When I run up to you, you look yellow. So the DLCs are really good as well. But they are all on Switch, so you can get them all on one console. I mean, a day will probably... You look kind of weirdly pale. I'm going to just make sure. He didn't look very bright, but he just didn't look very yellow. So... Oh, hang on. You look quite light, but again, I think it's just hard with all this like blue light emanating everywhere. Why aren't you attacking him? Attack him. There we go. Don't scare me like that. So I suppose with the DLC that does add on a lot of like costs as well. But the thing is, basically, you can get 3 plus the DLC for like the price of a Switch game, essentially, because that's like what I've done this Christmas. But their stories are so good. Like, they're so inventive and so clever, and like the worlds that they create are so good as well. And By the way, for those hunting shiny starters, the starters gather around you like the Joltik do. Ah, good to know. Yeah, they're not like aggro. Oh, hang on. Oh, wait, hang on. Wannikens? It exploded? What, did you have like a shiny Minior or something? What happened? What happened? No! Oh no, I'm sorry. You've added them to your watch list. Yeah, it depends on what. That's the thing. It also depends on whether you like physical or digital. They're probably quite meaty games. If you are a digital gamer, that's the thing. I do prefer physical, so I only really like having things like DLC be digital, or digital if a game is like incredibly cheap, like I talked about with like Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. If I tried to get a physical copy of that, it would cost like $30 or more, but I got the digital version for $3, so it was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go for that then. But they're very good, yeah. Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and then Xenoblade Chronicles 3. You can get Xenoblade Chronicles 2 like with the DLC as like a big single pack, I think, as well. If you go online, but yeah. But 1 and 3 like go on sale periodically and stuff. So, but yeah, I will now go through the premises of the 3 games, and I won't reveal any like spoilers or anything like that. But like Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is basically there were these big 2 giant like robots, right? Like absolutely massive robots, like the size of planets, pretty much. No, or size of countries or something like that. I don't know. So, like planet size, country size, who knows? But they're massive. And they basically were like locked in war with one another, and they basically like fight to the death. And then basically, and they both die kind of thing. And then they're like they're sort of 2 corpses. They're 2 big giant robot corpses or remains. From them spawn life. So like there's like one robot which like kind of spawns a load of like more sort of like organic life kind of thing. So like human beings called homs. But there are like these like human beings and like mammalian creatures and perhaps like some reptiles and fish and stuff like that. And then the other kind of like grows like robots and stuff like that. And then basically the like 2 different sort of life forms on the 2 different giant robots are at war with one another. Like the 2 different sort of planets or country, they're sort of like planet/countries kind of thing. Like each robot is kind of almost like a planet/country. So it's kind of like the 2 different ones are at war with one another, and you basically join the first game at this like really interesting kind of divisive tipping point in the war. And so that's all very interesting stuff. And then the second game has a story where you're living in a world where basically like the planet is basically like just like covered in like a cloud sea. It's covered in like a cloud sea, and there's no actual like land mass on this planet. The only land mass are these sort of big life forms known as Titans. Because I suppose big life forms are called Titans in every other form of media, I guess. But basically, like these Titans, kind of similar to the giant robots in a way, act as like act as living space for people. Like people kind of live on these giant Titans. Some Titans are bigger than others. Like some Titans are the size of like countries, and so the Titans kind of like are a country. But then some Titans are smaller. Some Titans are more like the size of like a truck or something like that. And so those ones are like used as just like transport kind of thing. Or just like a little town rather than like a whole country kind of thing. So there are like these Titans come in all different sizes and stuff like that. And basically you join the story at a point where like the Titans are like beginning to sort of die off. Like they've been dying off for a long time, and they're sort of just more and more of them are dying off. And so if the Titans are dying off, that means that people's like, it's like land mass is disappearing, right? So like if you imagined like our planet and you're like, oh, did you see like Canada went yesterday, like sort of thing. You know, like that's kind of what it'd be like. It's like, oh yeah, like Canada like sunk into the ocean yesterday. Yeah, oh, not good. Yeah, I know. Like, oh, the UK could be next. You know, stuff like that. So that's kind of, and then basically at the very center of the world is this giant tree. It's so giant it like extends into like the heavens, literally. And basically, it's kind of rumored that like this sort of creator of the world, God himself, is sits atop the world tree. And so basically kind of events kick off where so basically you're kind of living in this desperate world where kind of like the world is dying, kind of essentially. And so it's kind of like, well, let's see if we can get to the top of the world tree and meet God and fix the world, like restore the world back to life. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is basically the plot of the Lion King 3 or the Lion King 1.5, where we fight so we can live and live so we can fight. Where basically, yeah, you kind of live on a planet where there are like these 2 countries where they're kind of at war with one another. But they're not just at war, because what kind of happens is like when people kind of kill each other, it's like their sort of life force is kind of like harvested and kind of used as like kind of like fuel and a way for people to survive, kind of thing. So it's kind of this thing where like people only live for like 10 years, and then when you like sort of, you know, destroy other people, their life force kind of gets added and stuff like that. And so, but it's this kind of thing where people like, you know, they literally need to live to fight. Like if you don't fight, you won't live, because you need like that yummy life force from the people who you're at war against. So, but basically you kind of, and then you get these like sort of 2 groups of people, like one trio from one side, one trio from the other side, who kind of like get mysteriously released from this need to fight to live and live to fight. And so they that one's shiny. Yeah, that one's shiny. I don't know why I could tell, but that one was shiny. Come on, let's get the 2 more before the time runs out. Go! Armor Rouge! See, these guys like Xenoblade, I'm telling you. Hang on, I'm going to catch up on chat in a sec as well, because I want to see what people have been saying about Xenoblade. But, right, hang on. So, well, actually, no, hang on. I've got to save the game first, and then we'll get back to it. So hang on. But yeah, so they're kind of propelled into this, like, finding out the mystery of, like, why they exist and why they need to fight and stuff like that, and trying to free other people from this like very weird existence, and finding out like, okay, who's behind all this kind of thing. So right, let's check the chat, because I want to see what chat's been saying. So there's the Miss Warnikin stuff, and then let's see. So the biggest difference between the 2 countries is that the Bionis believes in orchestral music, while Mechonis is pure heavy metal. Yeah, no, that's about right. It's been it's been like 8 years since I played it as of. No, no, this year is like 9 years since I played Xenoblade 1. Oh gosh, Cats Are Fancy 07 Canada. Yeah, sorry to use Canada as an example, Tenchi. I didn't mean to. But yeah, you know, like, a cloud just covered the sun where you are. It got real dark and it started raining. I swear it dropped like 5 degrees. Whoa, jeepers. So, okay. But let's see. Yeah, this is like 6 or 7 or something. This is definitely the most successful shiny stream we have had, for sure. We've got 8 minutes left. Let's see if we can get any more Joltex. See, this one looks pretty bright, but I think that's just because of the luminescent glow. I believe. Chat, do you believe? Chat, give me in chat, right? Electric, like bolts of lightning for electricity, sparkles, and spiders, because the color doesn't really make a difference. They're just a bit brighter. So if we have like sparkles, electricity, and spiders, I think that'll do. I need one last bit of luck. Well, it's that, or you have to super chat me, and it's like, that's way too generous. So don't super chat. Just do the emojis, and we'll be fine. But yeah, so those are the premises of the 3 Xenoblade games. Did I do a good job explaining them? Um, did I do a good job explaining them? For those who have played Xenoblade, hang on, that looks really bright. That's got to just because of the light, though, right? Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, for those who so for those who haven't played Xenoblade, which one of those sounds the most intriguing to you? One, the two giant robots from which there was life, and then the life on the robots starts fighting as well. Two, where basically landmass are giant living creatures that are slowly dying off, and so they want to go to the top of a tree at the center of the world to see if God can save it. Or three, where it's the plot of Lion King 3, you fight to live and live to fight. And then these people from the two different sides come together to try and solve the mystery of what's going on. If you haven't played Xenoblade, which one sounds best to you? If you have played Xenoblade, which premise sounded best to you? And then did it turn out to be the best story? Because, like, I wasn't as interested in 2's premise at first, but then I think I liked the story the most out of them. So, and I think at the minute I probably do still like 2 a bit more than 3, and maybe it's just because of how it ties into 1 and stuff like that, but I just really ended up liking 2's story in the end. And I didn't even finish talking about 2, actually, when I was talking about being salty. But oh, bless me. But I do really like 3's premise. I like 3's premise, I think, is the one I like the most. So I'll see how much I like the story, and maybe I need to wait and see how the story goes until I've done the DLC epilogue thing. Whoa, another shiny Poplio for Skywatcher. That's awesome. The hopping for Joltix. I know, it's very scary. A Minior, use a Master Ball. Do it. Like, they just gave away a free one, okay? Like, use it. Like, you're not going to use it. Don't use it for legendaries. Don't. Who cares about Raging Bolt? Just use the Master Ball. Do it. Sniff. So, because I definitely like the gameplay of 3 the most. Like the one thing I will say about 3 is I don't like the world of 3 as much. One, the map is just really hard to tell, like, where anything is in the grand scheme of things. Everything's all been a bit samey so far. It's all like big fields or like sort of mountainous cliffs. So it's kind of hard to distinguish the different places from one another and to really kind of know what is where. And like, I mean, I kind of know if you say like, oh, Colony 9, I know which one that is, but it's kind of like, but like there's like Colony 9 and Colony 4, and you can kind of see, like, if you don't know those of you who haven't played Xenoblade, it's like that all sounds kind of samey. And it's like, yeah, it's because it kind of is all samey. So now I don't know. For ages, I thought I preferred X to number 1, but it's like now that I've played 2, I really liked 2. I did not know how much I was gonna like 2, because I swear when the game came out, it got like, you know, it got like solid like 7s out of 10 on like reviews and stuff like that. So I thought 2 was going to be like a bit of a weaker entry. Like, oh, it's a good game, but it's not like a great game. You know, but it's just not as good as the other 2 or something like that. But then, like, it was incredible. And I was just like, what? Like, this is amazing. Like, I thought this game only got, like, sort of not as good. Like, I thought the other games got way better reviews than this. And now I kind of think, like, I think more, I don't know, like, I can't remember 1 and X as well as, obviously, like, 2 and 3. But I sort of now think that maybe X is like the weak one of the bunch, like, which is like sacrilege, because I advocated for X like so much and so long, and I still hope that there's like a remake of it someday. But like, I think X maybe might be like the weak one, the weak one of the bunch. Like, it might be the one that sort of stands out as the weakest now, because it had an open world gameplay format, and as I have said many times on this channel, open world does not necessarily equal better than linear. Because in X, like, you had all these, it was like X was really fun because like the side quests were more fun in X than in like any other game. I would say they were more like accessible and easy and fun than any other game. But what it meant is that you just kind of focused on like side quests and like exploring the world loads. And then that's not shiny in front of me, is it? No. Okay. That's not shiny in front of me, is it? They all kind of look like a They all look like a lighter yellow here. I don't like this. They don't look. They all sort of look like a lighter yellow. I need to move to a different part of the cave. I need to move back to where I was because I don't like how. I don't like how sort of greeny they look on this brown. They sort of just. They don't look as yellow here. But the problem is that yeah, you kind of would just like grind on side quests, and then when you do main story stuff, it was kind of just like you'd kind of just be doing it to like get it out the way. And to like see how the story progresses, but it would be like really easy because you'd just be like so over leveled. So it's interesting. It's interesting, but I still hope we do get a remake for X, and maybe if they could make it like a little bit more linear or something. Like oh, you can't do certain side quests until you've like done certain parts of the game or something. Like maybe they could balance that out a bit better because I think they did already have that where it's like oh, a bunch of side quests have opened up, but maybe they could like tweak it so it's a bit different. But yeah. Wait, it exploded again? But the Master Ball, the Master Ball. Kevin, thank you so much for joining. Take care. No, what? Like, how did it explode again? And get a damp Pokemon. No. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That sucks. How long do we have left? 1 minute. Oh gosh. Okay, so we're gonna do 1 minute and then an Overquill raid, and then that'll be it for today. But let's see if we can't get one more. And I will check chat and comments in a sec because I want to see what Xenoblade games you guys like the sound of. But yeah, so they tell these incredible stories though, and to be honest, I think they kind of want to tell a story more than do a game because there are some times where you like barely play the game at all, and there are just so many cutscenes and stuff, and it's just like, oh, we better make you run forward like 50 meters. Okay, there's another cutscene now. So it's just quite funny sometimes where you're like really not playing the game a whole lot. In fact, number two, honestly, like chapters like 9 and 10, and maybe even like a little bit 8, I think, to an extent as well. I had like 10 chapters, but like 9 and 10 hardly had any like gameplay in them, relatively speaking. It was sort of just a lot of like getting to the top of the place where like in terms of the story you needed to be, and stuff like that. Oh, you just need to like climb, oh, we need you to go from here to here, but we don't really have a whole lot of gameplay stuff that we can add to these locations. So enjoy the cutscenes. But yeah. But those are the 3 Xenoblade games. But yeah, with 2, I was surprised because I thought it had average reviews, and I was a bit salty about it because I was salty that they'd done it in England, and I think maybe I was a bit gutted that I couldn't like have been a part of it or something like that. I was like, wait, what? Hang on, like so. They'd done one in England, and I couldn't be in one in England, and then now they're doing more in England, but I'm in America, and I was just annoyed because, at the time as well, like back in England, I was a bit more kind of like anti-English VO kind of thing. Again, this is why I was like, I don't want to like say this or admit this or whatever, but I'm not afraid to say it, like, and in fairness, like voiceover in England's just a very different animal, and it's fine that animal like isn't for me. There's a bit of like an old schoolness to voiceover in England, and it's not as much of a thing there kind of thing. Like being an English voice actor is less of a thing than being an American voice actor. In England, you are more like a jack of all trades actor. You do like TV and theatre and stuff like that. And that's changing. There are more and more like English voice actors in England now, but still though, it's a different thing, and I was like, I like the American voiceover system. So, whenever anything got done in England, I'd be like, girl, why are they doing this in the English voiceover system? They should be doing this in the American voiceover system, like stuff like that. So I was like young and naive and whatever kind of thing. And I was still kind of like, or that's how I felt when I was young and naive, and I still had like a bit of that like young naivete kind of thing. So I was just a bit annoyed. It was like, hang on, they've given a sequel to the game that didn't need a sequel, and they're doing it in like the place which is like in my head isn't as good for doing VO and stuff. So that's kind of how I saw it, and obviously I don't see it that way now. But that's kind of how I was like a bit more at the time. So I wouldn't like describe myself as like being bitter, but it's just but like less unbitter kind of thing. Whatever the opposite of bitter is, I was like less unbitter or kind of that kind of a thing. I was less unbitter in those days. So like when they announced 2 and I like, heard English accents, I was a bit like, oh, English accents, you know. But like now I'm kind of like, no, it's cool. It's cool that we have this franchise that kind of has like this identity because it does have accents. Like number 3 is crazy because like one of the consoles is a Geordie. Like I did not expect to hear like a Geordie in Xenoblade Chronicles, but here we are. So okay. Right, I'm going to fight this Overquill, and then we're going to call that it for the day, because it's now 2 o'clock, so Rowlets have officially begun here on the West Coast, or the West Coast. Yeah, so I want to go catch some Rowlets. But we'll go beat this Overquill first. I think the good choice here, let's see, they're Dark and Poison. So I'm going to just use Koraidon, I think. Actually, hang on, no, Dark and Poison. Dark and Poison. Dark and oh, no, yeah. If it had been Ghost, I absolutely would have used my Annihilate, because that would have been really fun. But we'll use Koraidon. So, but yeah. But yeah, so where I was kind of a bit like, I didn't really care for 2 much at first or anything. When they announced 3 and stuff, and I thought 3 looked incredible, and I was like, well, I'm gonna have to play 2. And I was like, and 2 sort of seems more interesting now, like Pyro and Mithra had come to Smash, so I was more curious and interested about 2, like, you know, last year, like 2 years ago or so. So I was just kind of like, yeah, you know, like I was just very interested in it, and I'm so glad I got it and played it, and it was incredible. And now I'm playing 3, and 3 is incredible, so. But I just, I'm trying to juggle it with Fire Emblem 3 Hopes. Like, gosh, first world problems, eh? And I gotta try and, like, get back into the swing of, like, working and trying to get the attention of studios and get work and, like, hey, please hire me, and stuff like that, because a lot of people forgot about me last year. And I can't let that happen again this year. Right, Barrage and stuff. So I got to juggle all that. And then afterwards, I got Persona 5. And then I'm going to just use a collision course here, see how this goes, and then we'll... Okay, that did a lot. Overcourse design is so funny. It's a good one though, isn't it? Like, because it is just like the mines that you see. Like it, because Quillfish was already kind of like inspired by that, so I like the Overcoil is kind of like that concept, but like just dialed up to the max. Like it's great. Hang on, what have we got? We got the... Okay, right. I'm actually gonna use another Sword Stance here, and then we'll see how this goes. Right, Barrage. Okay, that's not doing a whole lot of damage, so that's fine. And then we're gonna use a Collision Course here, and then this should do a lot more damage, and then it will heal off everything, and then, boom. Okay, let's take us to halfway. Excellent. So yeah. But no, my hope for this year, though, actually, like, you know, provided everything is, like, financially okay and stuff like that this year, provided, like, I can buy a couple of games throughout the year that I'm, you know, like, sort of, oh, I want to play this game again or whatever. I obviously want to get Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door remake this year. Like, that's, you know, that is, like, a day one. I'm getting that, for sure. Hang on, let's just check. He didn't reset all the stats, did he? No. Okay, good. So we can keep going with, like, Collision Course here. So I definitely want to get Paper Mario. But then I'm at this interesting point where a lot of the things I'd missed out on by not getting a Switch right away, I now have and have caught up on. So, you know, like I didn't get Mario Odyssey right away because I didn't have a Switch right away. And I didn't get Breath of the Wild right away because I didn't have a Switch right away. But, like, you know, I got Mario Odyssey like 3 Christmases ago. I got Breath of the Wild 2 Christmases ago. Anytime anything new has come out, like a new Pokemon game or Tears of the Kingdom, I've gotten those things brand new. Super Mario Wonder, I got it brand new. So I'm now in this interesting place where, you know, like the stuff I want to catch up on that I haven't got yet, you know, like there's a lot of stuff where I've kind of been like, say, you know, it's not been like on like the biggest of my big wish lists, but like it's kind of been there. So that's why, like, say, like Persona 5 Royal is a game I'm going to play this year, because like that was kind of on that list. It wasn't up there with Mario Odyssey and stuff, but it is a game I did want to get and buy, and I knew I'd be able to get it cheap one day, and I did. And so I got it. And right, let's... Collision Course, and then this should do it, I think. Who do you get to like Beau voice your more favorite characters? I mean, I guess you like tweet the video game companies and very, very politely, or like create a hashtag like Beau for Xenoblade, like hashtag Beau for Xenoblade or whatever kind of thing. But I don't really know. I don't know what the sort of I don't know what the etiquette is, because on the one hand you can't be too sheepish, on the other hand you can't be too strong. So I don't know. But anyway, Bark. Hey, we beat the Overquill, and I was meant to use a Premier Ball, not a Pokeball. Oh well. Yeah, but like the voiceover studios, Nintendo game studios as well, I guess. But yeah. Hey, we got the 2 Salty Herba Mystica. That's pretty sweet. That was the 2 we used earlier for our bug sandwich. That was a very successful sandwich. So I'm going to take some screenshots of these guys whilst I finish saying goodbye. But yeah, no. So this year I want to get Paper Mario, and I'm sort of working through other things and, you know, whatever. But I kind of like this year, the two sort of little wish listy things I have this year. If money permits, obviously I want Paper Mario Thousand Year Door whenever that comes out. And I'll play that. But additionally though, sorry, I'm going to sneeze in a second. I'm going to sneeze. I can feel it. Whoa, hang on. What happened to all my, oh, hang on. They went here. That's where they went. Haha. Okay, hang on a sec. So we've got, so we got these shinies. We got this shiny Tyrogue, which was the one from today. I just want to make sure we get the one from today specifically. 1217 106. Okay, so you're the one from today. So hang on, let's go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, shame we didn't get the drill bar. That was like the only sort of concession, really, that we didn't get the drill bar, did we? But wow, I think we did get 7 in another stream, in fairness, but that's pretty incredible. I don't think I really need that drill bar, but oh well, we'll hold on to it just in case. I need to go catch these other starters at some point as well. Why does this Minior? Oh no, I was gonna say, why does this Minior look paler than the others? But that's why. I'll just keep that there for a sec, and that's fine. But there we go. That is today's shiny hunting stream. We got the Tyrogue. We got the Inkay, which I'll have to evolve off screen. We got the Bruxish. We got the other Bruxish. We got Dewpider. We got the other Dewpider at level 61. And then we got the Joltik. But let's just quickly, hang on, this one's level 63 and a water type. So let's switch these 2 around. Let's put you here. I think these just evolve via level up. So let's just see if we can just do rare candy. Here we go. May as well add another one to our list, eh? Well done to the group chat people for doing group play. That's very cool. I'm glad you were able to form a group and get BP, and you'll get some legendaries now, which is very cool. So, okay, that is our shiny hunt for today. And guessing normally we go for 4 hours, and we only went for 3, and I got 7. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, I'm going to go and catch some Rowlets IRL outside. I'm used to indoors. But we can't go a whole stream without a SpongeBob reference. I think we almost maybe did there, but I ruined it. Oh, well. But, okay. Anyway, Bark. So, thank you all so much for an amazing stream today. This has been really fun. Thank you for your luck and well wishes. Wish me luck with the Rowlets. What if I now don't get Rowlets? What if I just go outside for like 3 hours and like die of starvation because I'm really hungry and I should go eat something before getting the Rowlets? But I'm gonna take a risk and take the chance. So there we go. He has such a lovely voice. Me or someone else? But no, thank you all. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me today. This was a fun one. We're gonna next week we'll hunt for more shinies. They're probably only gonna get more awkward and difficult as we go along. As we have more brilliantly successful shiny hunts, it means that we're gonna have more awkward, difficult shiny hunts. So I guess keep that in mind. But I guess we've learned today that Drillbur needs to be shiny hunted off stream in handheld mode and not whilst you're talking about politics. So I'll try and do that shiny hunt whilst listening to a Nintendo video. Take care, everyone. Thank you for today. It's been brilliant. You've been brilliant. And thank you again for joining me on my birthday the other day. That was really funny. That was really fantastic. If you didn't get to watch my birthday stream, Super Mario Odyssey, in a single stream, like in a 3.5 hour period, just played in a regular way, no glitching through the floor or crazy crud like that, then go watch it, because that was a really fun one, and and you guys helped make it really special as well. Right, thank you all so much. I'm going to save the game, turn off, and go get some Rowlets. Take care, everyone. And so, and then next week, so next week we'll be doing the Pokemon Violet epilogue. We'll be doing the epilogue on my Pokemon Violet with only ice types. And also as well, because I don't know how long that's going to take. If it only takes like a few hours, then I do actually have a plan for how we can bulk out that stream. Basically, we're going to shiny hunt for shiny Shieldon, because that's the only shiny that I really have left in Pokemon Pokemon Violet to get. If the epilogue's really short, then we'll hunt for shiny Shieldon and for shiny Clauncher, because that is technically the other one that I need to get. But I don't know how likely I am to be able to get a Clauncher in that game, just because of they're like a water type that spawns in the ocean. So outside of having an outbreak of Clauncher, I don't know how I'm going to get a shiny Clauncher. But we can definitely hunt for shiny Shieldon, because I know how to shiny sandwich for one of them. Right, anyway, that's the third time I've said goodbye. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Have a wonderful week. I'm sorry that I won't see you midway through the week like I did last time, but I'll see you in a week for that Pokemon Violet epilogue, and hopefully a little bit of bonus shiny hunting as well included in that. And then the week after, I wanted to start a brand new project, but because I don't know what the situation with the game strike is, we'll just be doing more shiny hunting here on Pokemon Scarlet. Unless anything happens with the strike in the next 2 weeks. So I'll see you next week for the Pokemon Violet epilogue, plus hopefully a shiny Shieldon, and I'll see you guys then. Take care. Thank you again. Go watch the birthday stream, and like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you around. Take care. Bye-bye.